What? Hold on. Hold on. This is not it. I'm reading some like really bad guidance on Chrome. Whatever. Zach, I got this. Do not. Wait, hold on. Always keep YouTube active. Let's try that. Morning, how are you? Memory saver, turn the fuck off. Please. It is off. It's never been on. Rude. What a rude dude this computer is. Because it's like when I'm playing games, we're getting lag, and it's so odd. Let's see. Why the fuck does it does this? Lag on Chrome when watching or playing games? Is that it? Some runners successfully sped up their YouTube by disabling QUIC and Chrome flags. Okay. Typed in Omnibox. Gotcha. Let's see if it's here. QIC protocol, go away. Back to Reddit. What? QIC again? Disable, and then check again for any DNS stuff that's happening. Okay, and look for acceleration again. After accelerated video decode, let's turn it off. Or accelerated video encode. Let's go away. Let's just type code and look for encode decode. Encode accelerated to dimensions. Unless flags expired and may stop functioning. Turn you off. Punny host names. First punny host name instead of Unicode and displaying internationalized domain names. Now we're good. Zero copy video capture count, which is a GPU friendly buffer on the capture end, and if the hardware accelerated, video can go to data. I don't give a fuck. Toggle performance metrics, nope. Enable AV1 for cast streaming, sure. I'm not using those, so I don't really give a shit. Shh. Right. GenMap HDR rendering is turned on. Okay, I need to relaunch the browser. Let's go. Hello. I'm like actually wearing like not pajamas today. Hold on. This is wild. I need to grab a thing though. Give me a second. There you are. Launching stuff. Hold on. Launching MIDI-aux. There we go. Hey, by the way, awkward as it is, I'm like, again, I'm not wearing PJs today. I've actually put on clothes made of denim. Isn't this amazing? I even wear PJs going outside. I actually wore clothing made of denim, not just PJs today. Isn't this sick? I think this is sick. I'm pretty cool with this. This is made of denim instead of PJ material. I usually wear PJ material because I'm a reasonable human being and I make okay life choices. Fuck, wrong button. God damn it. Hi. Anywho's, I'm a reasonable person. I make reasonable choices. For the first time in like 10 billion years, I'm wearing fucking not PJs. This shit doesn't happen. It's a little weird, a little wild. Don't ask me questions. I still say crisscross applesauce in a skirt or a dress. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I should not do this outside. Lucky for me, I don't go nowhere to do shit. Okay, so hi, good morning. How are you? What are you up to? How's your day? Guess what? I'm putting chat on screen again because I forgot to. I'm making sure that it works. There we go. Let me see. Hold on. Please make it easy. Hold on. Almost done. Okay. Cool. Got it. Got it. Did I really fuck this up? No, I didn't. Okay. Cool. Never mind. Okay. Got him. Not this. Not this. Not this. Yee. Okay, cool. And then do I want to like refresh this? Maybe? Probably. I don't know. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Wait, what? Hold on.
So Valve heard the news. They saw that my channel hit 100,000 subscribers.
Bullshit.
Orange power button that lets you know that this is a Steam Deck OLED as opposed to the LCD model. They say it's launching worldwide next week, but worldwide is a bit of a misnomer. They mean it's going to be available for all Steam Deck shipping regions, this time including Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and Hong Kong. The Steam Deck is also launching for the first time in Australia next week, so Australians get to get in on the fun too. In Valve's blog post, they said that the limited edition white model is going to ship alongside all the other Steam Deck models in Australia. If you're wondering, the specs are the exact same as the 1TB model, but this time there's going to be an exclusive white carrying case and a white microfiber cleaning cloth. The previous limited edition model, you know, the one with the black translucent shell and orange accents, that came with an exclusive carrying case too, which was pretty neat. Also, these 1TB Steam Deck,
I kind of wish that I had the transparent one.
All come with a liner that is essentially a smaller case that makes it even easier to pack with your things. Now, just like the previous limited edition model, Valve have stated that this model will only be available in limited quantities with stock allocated proportionally across each region.
There we go.
Basically, once they're sold out, they're sold out. Furthermore, they're limiting purchase to 1 unit per account, and accounts must have made a Steam purchase before November 2024 and be in good standing. Honestly, this thing looks great, and I'm trying to convince myself that it is not something I should spend $700 on. Right. I know a lot of people prefer their electronics to be black, and there's nothing wrong with that. I do too. But I also
I prefer my electronics to be translucent white or... We'll see here. Check it. I like white and pink or black and like a teal. Like there's a reason that I went with like the colors that we have generally here. It's like, if I have to have like hardware that's like, cause like, you know, there's a solid chance in some point I will like properly tape down and like paint and like spray a lot of shit. Like there's a good chance I'll take apart this MIDI controller and spray paint it with like a different color. Take apart the mic, spray paint it a different color. There's a solid chance my ass will do that. Like, why? I don't know. The only thing that is like okay, so here's the thing, right? It's black and red, which is my friend's favorite color combo, but it's not my favorite color combo, right? My one friend likes it. I don't really. I'm okay with black and silver. Like, okay, so honestly, this red shit connects to a lot of stuff that's like, I guess the silver offsets it really. That's like the thing that makes it more manageable. Or I don't see it because it's attached to my goddamn head, I think, mayhaps. I don't know. Anywho's, science. How you like? How you like radio waves, bitch? Just kidding.
Like the designs of the PS5, Wii, and Dreamcast. Like, imagine the white Steam Deck with the Wii theme from CSS Loader on Decky. That would be so sick. Either way, this is a good design, and I'm curious to see what else they cook up. In an interview with automatonmedia.com, they said that, quote, the smoky translucent limited edition was an experiment to see if consumers would be
I like Steam talking about their cool engineering findings because when they publish those, it benefits the whole goddamn world. But I don't give a fuck about their marketing bullshit. It's actually just fucking irritating. Now, I understand they have to make their bag. They need their goddamn money. Okay, cool. Whatever. I'm just taking a moment to say, first off, I want to see through my goddamn console. Secondly, I have to take the whole goddamn thing apart to do that. Tertiarily, I don't know, cousin. I don't know. Like, even the original translucent one, like, orange is one of my favorite colors. You know that. Like, I bitch about this, like, a lot. Like, a lot. Let me get you the link for this, by the way. Let me also drop in a fucking, let me drop in a timestamp so I can have it. There we go. It's cute. I like it. I don't know about having it in my life. Even this one. Like, this one or the other, honestly. Like, just the Reggie one. Like, I don't know. If I could,
in an alternate,
it's that, like, I don't like the color scheme on it. They darkened the transparency on this one to keep it, like, in theme with the original. I really wish it was, like, very distinctly easy to see through, at which point I'd be like, very nice. Very, very nice. Good job. Very, very fucking nice, my guy. But no, it's not. It's like this. And it's fine. It's pretty for a lot of people. And again, it is some of my favorite colors. I just don't like the way they're assembled. Which, that's just a me thing. Fuck it.
Steam Deck colorway? The answer turned out to be yes, so we are expanding the experiment worldwide to see if the same interest is true for all of our shipping regions. If we see similar interest, we would definitely be interested in looking into other.
It's not bad. It's just unless you're pressed right against the plastic, you look different.
Color variations in the future, end quote. So yeah, I know some people that would like to see even more color variations. Atomic Purple, anyone? Obviously, you can buy one of those shell replacement kits, but that is not a trivial mod to do. Anyway, I think the point with something like
honestly, I hate doing my own hardware. I'm down with fixing other people's shit, but when it's like I have to do my own shit, I generally would like, I don't have to, but prefer to hide behind someone else who's also qualified and competent and ask them to do the damn thing so I don't have to. Anyways, I'm yawning.
Colorways and shipping to new regions is that it shows two things.
I've been playing Dark Souls.
Number one, it shows that the Steam Deck continues to sell well, and number two, it shows that Valve is simply not done with the Steam Deck.
No shit.
Folks, it's impossible to overstate how important my data is to me. I have a collection of photos, movies, music, games, and more.
I'm okay with deleting everything. Not this time. Like, I didn't beat it this run. So I've yet to have my win on PC. I just kind of was like, ooh, someone mentioned DS3, and I also noticed I lost my whole save. Did you forget that I was doing it because I lost my save and had to catch back up? Did you forget that?
That I simply cannot lose, and that's why
I went to it for a bit, is I lost my whole goddamn save.
Happy to say that I'm sponsored by Wondershare Recover It. Wondershare Recover It is an all-in-one data recovery tool that can completely restore your lost videos. By the way,
I don't give a fuck that I lost my save. I'm just catching back up. I also don't care about data retention or recovery. Like I do for other people, right? Like I'm down. I understand if you like need to. I understand if you come to me and you're like, "Bitch, make sure my data stays." We will have high availability fucking storage with S3 on that bitch in a fucking heartbeat. You know, I don't give a fuck. We will make sure that your shit is replicated around the world and you can grab it. However, for me, myself personally, I don't give a fuck if it all burns down tomorrow. Like, I really don't fucking care. Like, what the fuck am I gonna lose? A selfie and like a picture of something I made, like the ingredients laid out in front of me like 4 years ago. I don't give a fuck. It's like, whatever. Who the fuck cares? The fuck do I give a shit about? What the fuck am I supposed to have on my fucking hardware that's important? Like, I can log into everything. A password manager that I can take care of on my own with like my own backups, right? So what the fuck is this supposed to give me aside from another account and someone that might get hacked and leak my data?
Photos, emails, and
And
all.
even if it's local, I harken back to the point. Okay. I mean, technically, if you're talking about like shit that we've made for YouTube, I have a 10 terabyte hard drive, like a spinner attached to a network attached over fucking like it's running. There's a Docker container. There's a server in my closet with Docker on it. It's running NFS in network file system, right? On one container. That container serves up my external storage for me to get it across the whole goddamn network. What goes there? Shit I'm actively working on, like either if we're gonna use it for editing, if I have only recently uploaded it, and if it's like the raw shit for DaVinci when I'm done. Because like editing editing it actively on network storage on a spinning hard drive is ill-advisable. I might go run the NVMe that's just chilling on my desk to go spend time with it. So it has an NVMe friend to plug into it, which means, yeah, I can do like long-term backups to that shit. But imagine me like, CD-inning my own like Steam games to myself between like hardware. That's what I'm here
All
for.
sorts of files from all sorts of storage devices, including SD cards and network attached storage. It will even repair corrupted photos and video for you. This is an absolutely essential tool for filmmakers, video editors, photographers, but honestly, it's essential for any digital collector as well. Think about it. Maybe you have family photos or home movies. Maybe you have a collection of DRM-free games like GOG, or the collection of ROMs from the Sega Genesis classics on Steam. If you ever lose any of those files, you can use Wondershare Recover It to help you restore your data, because there are a million things that can happen to your files, like accidental deletion, wear and tear on older SD cards and drives, or even a malfunction during a data migration. No matter the cause, Wondershare Recover It has a 99.5% success rate and a fluid user interface. So if you find yourself needing to recover data, then download Wondershare Recover It free and try it using my links below.
Thanks. So it was fun to be curious about what they're offering, but I don't know enough now to like
that I mentioned earlier. Lawrence Yang from Valve said, quote, "Our main goal with Steam Deck is to make customers happy by giving them more ways and places to play their Steam library. Given Steam Deck's widespread success, we believe we've achieved this goal. We also look at other companies coming out with similar devices and see this as a mark of success. Our hope with Steam Deck was that this would create a new category of devices, PC handhelds, and that has definitely happened. But we're not done yet. The team is continuing to work on improving Steam Deck with software updates, as well as future unannounced hardware plans." End quote. Future unannounced hardware plans. What could that possibly be? Leave your theories in the comments. The more unhinged, the better. In any case, my stance on Valve being in it for the long haul is something that's come up on this channel before. I think it's a good thing. Although it may mean that you have to wait longer for a Steam Deck 2, it means that your hardware will be supported thoroughly and that you can expect the game devs to target the Steam Deck also. Here's what Valve had to say about targeting the Steam Deck specifically. Quote, "We've seen game developers turn their attention to this category of devices and spend some time to tune the experience for it,
SSH?
either prior to release or as post-release updates to existing titles.
SSH to that?
With minimal amounts of work, they are able to make performance, user experience, and accessibility tweaks that not only benefit the experience on Steam Deck, but also on a wide variety of diverse PC gaming setups out there," end quote. This is absolutely something I've taken notice of. By supporting the Steam Deck, devs are doing the work of making their games more scalable and more Linux friendly. Work like that supports many more machines than just the Steam Deck. Interestingly, the interviewer asked what percentage of games have been rated verified or playable. Lawrence Yang responded that when looking at the last week of reports submitted, over 95% of the titles were either playable or verified, and personally, I can say that's absolutely indicative of the state of things for the Steam Deck. The vast majority of your games will be playable. Likewise, Valve was asked, have you noticed an acceleration in Steam Deck sales following the release of particular games? And although Valve say they don't have specific examples of games that accelerated Steam Deck sales, they did point out that many games have an outsized Steam Deck audience. They give some examples like Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, UFO 50, The Plucky Squire, Kingdom Hearts HD 1.5 plus 2.5 remakes, and Deep Rock Galactic Survivor. These are games where Steam Deck players represent 10 to 20% of all playtime on Steam in the past month. Now, the funny thing about this list is that it mirrors the list I made a few weeks back about games that have a relatively large percentage of user reviews from Steam Deck users. In the video about that data, I called out UFO 50, Kingdom Hearts, and Plucky Squire as games that do have particularly high amounts of reviews from Steam Deck users. On a slightly related note, I was really happy to see Shady Knight as part of the promo for this new Steam Deck colorway. I saw Obbs, an employee from Valve, mention this on Twitter, and it made my day because Shady Knight is a fast-paced first-person shooter that does a great job of supporting the Steam Deck by calibrating the sensitivity for flickstick and gyro. Not having to do any of that calibration manually is absolutely huge. By the way, the developer of Shady Knight sent me a key, but I already own this game, so I wanted to give it away to one of you. If you're interested in this game, leave a comment. It can be about which colorway you want to see from Steam Deck or what hardware you want to see from Valve. Whatever you want, I'll pick a comment by the end of the week as the winner and give them a key. Now, when I think of shooters, I do also think of online multiplayer games. And well, the interviewer asked Valve about this subject, saying, quote, "Some online multiplayer games, including some of the most popular games on Steam, are not compatible with Steam Deck due to anti-cheat technology that they use. I think this has been an issue since the launch of Steam Deck. Is there anything being done to address it? Have you made any progress so far?" End quote. Here, Lawrence Yang did mention that they've partnered with Easy Anti-Cheat and BattlEye to make it easier for developers to enable support for Steam Deck, and he cites Elden Ring as a game that uses EAC on deck. But it's important to point out that there are games that use those anti-cheats and even had recent support for the Steam Deck that decided to drop that support. Most recently, GTA Online and Apex Legends are two examples of games that did drop support. To that, Pierre Liu from Valve had to say, quote, "We have been monitoring the trend of games requiring kernel-level access for their anti-cheat technologies and not supporting Steam Deck as a result. We are extremely aware of the critical need for countermeasures against cheating in online games, but are also considering options carefully. Some of the approaches popular now in the industry might present problematic trade-offs for the end user in the long term," end quote. What do you think of that last sentence? Some of the approaches popular now in the industry might present problematic trade-offs for the end user in the longer term. I found that sentence interesting. In a recent video, I explained how much work Valve has put into their own anti-cheat as of late. And personally, my theory is that Valve would like to get more developers to use Valve anti-cheat, or at least some anti-cheats that don't have access to the kernel. And that brings me to a comment that was recently made by Sony. I saw this reported on Gaming on Linux, and basically there was a Q&A segment in a recent investors call, and Sony executive Hiroki Totoki was asked what lessons they'd learned from Concord. According to the English translation from a live interpreter, this was the response, quote, "Regarding that matter, we have learned a lot. The way to face the issues regarding PC, for instance, the PlayStation accounts that we have offered by offering them, sometimes that tends to invite pushback. But for the live service games, in order to maintain the order of gaming so that anybody can enjoy the game safely, we need to create an environment conducive to that. Having some restrictions, maybe not call it a rule, but
oh, it's Sony using kernel-based anti-cheat to not let fucking. Oh, I'm thinking of fucking the Red Dead and fucking GTA people.
to
Let me see. Are
ask
they
the
doing the
users
same?
and gamers to follow the manner, and those balances are very important. And we have to continue to seek the best way to achieve this. End quote. So again,
that's not Valorant. That was you looking at Concord.
This was a live translation, but it's interesting that Sony turned a question about Concord into a defense.
Oh, never mind. True.
Of their PSN accounts on PC. I'm probably reading way too much into this, but it reads as though the latter keeps them up at night more than the former. Anyway, and for what it's worth, there was this really good post on the Gaming on Linux discussion board about this topic that suggests some things may have been lost in translation. They say that, quote, what Sony usually means when they talk about safe in a PSN context is the option to blocklist people or report people, to always know whom you're playing with, to make sure that kids can't access content that they shouldn't, and a lot of other player-friendly features. Sony have all that stuff set up for their consoles, so I'm not surprised that they're going the path of least resistance and try to use the same systems on PC too. Especially for games that already support all that via PSN APIs on consoles, it makes sense to use the same APIs on PC. But their online features all assume that the player has a PSN account, end quote. All of that
I got
is
it.
a reasonable interpretation, I would say. But as that same poster does go on to say, it doesn't particularly make much sense for offline games. And honestly, I don't really mind any of that stuff. I just want two things.
App Armor failing.
Number one, continue.
App Armor was failing. I should have removed the variable. I was racing.
Huge Steam Deck support.
It's fine.
And number
it's
two, for the login to be optional.
Just slower.
Bonus number three, for none of this to depend on kernel level software. Bottom line, Sony would benefit from taking some time to think about what their PC strategy actually is and come to the conclusion that meets the needs of both PlayStation gamers coming to PC and the needs of people that simply enjoy the existing freedoms of PC. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you're all having a wonderful week. Deck Gang out. Goodbye.
I'll have whatever the fuck I want. Don't boss me around. Bitch. Do what I want. Have whatever kind of week I fucking want, motherfucker. Don't tell me how to live my life. I'll fight everybody. Excuse me? Did we forget? I am scrappy beyond reason. Motherfucker? Like, what? No. Playlist, watch later. There we go.
A while ago, I saw a post on the...
We're going to dark places today. I need to make a snack soon. I need to eat. I'll give you the link. One sec.
I saw
link. Timestamp. I know I'm kind of needing to get better at this. Oh, I'm only sending it on YouTube. Oh shit. Hold on. Let me fix this. Hold on. Let me go back to StreamerBot. Open the main UI. Reopen chat. Blast the link into both chats. I could read Twitch, but I wasn't sending to Twitch, right? That was so weird. Okay. Then timestamp. Segment Butin.
So a post on the subreddit regarding accounts Smart Schoolboy 9 followed or accounts that followed him. More recently, I've looked into the whole thing a bit and seemingly found while a person on the internet, there's certainly a lot of those to go around. However, the content he posted gave people enough concern to be a danger to local children in this area.
It was the worst. That was the worst place in the jogger to click. Like, I regretted it instantly.
There are numerous videos on
I don't like mouth sounds.
YouTube from
I don't give a fuck who you are.
Documenting the dark act.
Oh my gosh. I need to bring their volume up more than is reasonable. Fight. Never mind. What? No, we didn't forget. Actually, since people were poking back at it again, I was seeing the definitive guide to debunking creationists full series part 1 to 5. Oh, saved to different playlist. It is in Late Night Sunshine. Score. Howdy. How you going? How you doing? That was that's Smart Schoolboy 9. It's a 30-year-old man who dresses up as a schoolboy and pretends to be a schoolboy on TikTok, I believe. Reaches out to a lot of people's like their accounts always say managed by parent, and they, the internet's gone off assuming that it's how they get off, assuming it's how they get control, assuming they're trying to infiltrate and their motives. To be fair, all we actually are positive of is this person uses AI generated children and real photos of children to construct collages on their platform. Now, why is that fucked up? They're not your kids. You can't do that. You don't have consent to do that from the person themselves or their guardian. Okay, first. Also, it's inappropriate to AI generate children because, especially for the kind of content that was getting alluded to, because you're using real children's images to train an AI to replicate the best effort. It's like an everyman's assumption of how to best exhibit a child based upon all of the children that the AI has been shown, which means it's seen a fuckload of them, right? Like a metric fuckload. I'm just clicking here. Just so you know. I can segment button this. This is something. The segment button. Yeah, good use of the segment button.
Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor has just dropped a bombshell on Trump, igniting a firestorm of controversy and debate. Justice Sonia Sotomayor recently delivered a powerful dissent that has reverberated throughout political and legal circles, particularly concerning former President Donald Trump.
Oh, by the way, this is going to sound very silly from me, but okay. The Honorable Justice Sonia and the author, Holly Black, and the one electron theorem. What is the one commonality I will share between these? I will say they are charming, and I don't mean to be disparaging when I say that. It's that, like, charming is a word I will use when something is intriguing or enthralling, but I have yet to look into enough, right? So can I speak on every one of the Honorable Justice Sonia's publications? No. Can I speak on those that I've read? Yes. I like reading it so far, and it's charming. Thusly, I call it charming. Charming's a thing that I call the one electron theorem as well, because though it has no standing in refuckingality, it still sounds really cute and it wraps my heart up with hope. And I want to love it for what it is. Doesn't have to be real for that. It just has to be charming, right? For me to be charmed by it or me to find it a charming experience. Yeah, that's all.
Her statement came in response to a Supreme Court ruling that granted Trump absolute immunity from criminal prosecution for actions taken while in office. This ruling has raised significant concerns about the implications for presidential accountability and the rule of law.
We're policy people here. Like, we like watching policy. Some people like watching planes. Some people like watching trains. Some people like watching me eat pickled peas as content. That's okay. I like eating pickled peas as content. But I also like policy. Like, there's a part of me that when I used to be babysat when I was like super little and like I was a kid and I had a babysitter back then. Fuck off, Fess. Fuck you. Makes sense. Eat ass. Anywho's, I had a babysitter when I was a youth, and they'd let me watch like, reality TV, like Maury and Ricky Lake and Jerry Springer, you know? Watching Congress is a lot like watching Jerry Springer and Ricky Lake, and that should be horrifying. Why? Well, the last time that Congress was out and about calling for like bullshit to happen to each other, we saw like a major schism in the nation. And the next thing you know, to even solve this and mend it and push it away, some people had to capitulate and allow the Pledge of Allegiance to include the words God. Some of the same people had to capitulate and now put "In God We Trust" on the currency. In case you were curious, that shit isn't new. That shit was a concession from the Civil War to reign in southern states. This is the last time that people were at their necks fighting about shit. The only difference is people were beating each other to death with canes and fists and would duel to the death with guns on the regular. I'm glad we're not doing that. I'm honestly so very ecstatic. If we ever go back to those days, I'm leaving. I don't know where I'm going to. I'm going to find an errant rocket, strap myself on like a space cowboy, and go find a comet to bore out. I'm going to take a nuclear rocket, go to a comet, go melt the comet with the nuclear rocket, because I'm a clever bitch like that. I'm going to put a nuclear fucking rocket in the ass of a comet and just slowly turn it until I get the fuck out of the fucking solar system, goddammit. Fuck that shit. Nah. It's got some momentum, I'll add more. You know what the best part about fucking water ice is, aka a motherfucking comet? Well, it's really dense and it blocks fucking high energy fucking waves. It will stop everything. You want to know your best radiation shielding? A lot of not the best, but you want to know some outstanding radiation shielding that doesn't require okay, why is water so great? Well, it's a fucking monopole, if memory serves. It stands on one end. It freezes into a tighter lattice than when it was liquid. You can drink it. You can use it to make oxygen and habitable fucking air. It's your fucking shielding from high energy cosmic fucking rays. It's your shielding from fucking radiation outright, inclusive of whatever the fuck you take there. I'm gonna go hide in one of those goddamn motherfuckers. Fuck it. If shit keeps getting weird, I'm gonna be in a comet. Fuck Mars. Fuck Earth. Fuck the moon. I'm gonna go live in a comet, and when people write me a letter or send me some signal and they're like, we don't have any water, I'll just bring the comet around and trickle off some water for those motherfuckers. Fuck it. Have some free water, bitch. I'm leaving. Tell me if you need shit else. Fucking orbital period is fucking 500 days, bitch. Fuck you. That'll be my approach. If things ratchet up and people can't be kind and accepting of each other to an extent where we can dispel generalizations, dehumanization, denigration, and also abate violence before it comes and eats us up by the toes.
Sotomayor's dissent was notable not only for its content, but also for the emotional weight she brought to her delivery. By reading her dissent from the bench, a rare move, she emphasized her strong disagreement with the majority opinion. Her remarks highlighted a growing fear among many that the ruling effectively positions the president as a king above the law. This perception has sparked intense debate about the balance of power in American democracy
and
whether such judicial decisions could undermine public trust in the legal system. Critics argue that granting any president unchecked power could lead to abuses, setting a dangerous precedent. Sotomayor's statements serve.
It's a really pretty top. Is this part of a dress or just a top? It's really pretty. It's my favorite colors for one of those things. It's like a black base with yellow flowers. That's when you'll see me wearing, because I was bitching about, MIDI controller isn't the right colors. I'm probably going to pop it apart and spray paint it. So it's white and orange instead of this, That's another thing. I could put the red parts into yellow and I'd be just as happy, honestly. It's easier to spray paint it though. And then when I have it apart, probably switch out the LED that's red in the little mode selection area over here with something more reasonable. Make one pink, one green, and one yellow, for instance. So it's more easy. They're all red right now. It's a little bit difficult. It might actually be, no, it's the light underneath. Okay, I had to be sure. I had to be triple, double, quadruple sure. All right, cool beans.
Serve as a call to action, urging both lawmakers and citizens to remain vigilant against potential overreach by those in power.
I've been saying this for at least the last 3 administrations, that you should always be vigilant. Don't expect campaign promises to be kept. You need to ride them. You need to be on their ass. You hired them. You can fire them. They're your employee. You pay their food money. I don't give a fuck if it is Jill Stein, Mr. Trump, Mr. Obama, or Miss Harris. I don't give a fuck. If they say they're going to do a job, I'm going to be an asshole here? I don't believe that. Prove it. Put your fucking money to the put your money down. Get your shit done. And we'll talk to you when you showed me some fucking progress, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Now, I don't mean that to be an aggressive shit-tard. It's just a shit-tard. It's just I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, I don't care about your goddamn fucking words. They mean nothing to me. Show me fucking, like, I want you to be accountable. I want you to follow up and follow through, right? I want you to do the thing, but also show how you did it. And until you can do that, shut the fuck up. I don't need you, bitch. And that's how I've treated these motherfuckers, with love and refucking ball respect the whole goddamn way. And I highly advise everyone pick this auspice up, because it's not like the right thing, because there's no one right thing. No one knows the right way. But it's a nice turn from trust to just have a sea of a lack of distrust, an all-encompassing lack of trust for every living thing, because you believe in them and want them to do well, but don't believe they can do kindly to the others around them, because they don't know them yet. And everyone's taught to think that they know everything, instead of just accepting that we know nothing and being honest. So anyways.
Particularly as Trump seeks to regain influence. The recent Supreme Court ruling allowing...
Because, like, it's to the point where people have already, like, people that voted for him already feel disenfranchised. Like, don't forget that. And I mean that with love and fucking respect. That if you want to feel less disenfranchised, you need to ride these motherfuckers about their campaign promises. Hold them accountable, record it, treat them like a fucking shitty ex, record the promises, talk about them, blow their shit up, like not literally, but figuratively, like just blow up their spot in the figurative way, right? Like they do some bullshit, they say some shit on the fucking trail, what do? You tell every motherfucker you fucking know until everybody fucking knows, and then no one doesn't know, and then it's all better, right? Yes, that's pretty much how this goes. Basically, we only get there when everybody fucking holds their asses accountable, because we're all their constituents and they all have to listen to our punk asses. You know, it doesn't matter who you voted for. This man has to listen to you too. So, just saying, hold them accountable. Don't let them fuck up their shit. They're doing a lot of work, right? It's a very busy job. There's a lot of shit to do. There's a lot of emergent changes. Don't forget, Mr. Trump has made conflicting statements about postures on Russia and Ukraine, as well as Israel. And I need to be reminding you all that you gotta hold them accountable, or else you get lost in the wash of whoever did hold them accountable and wasn't you and had a different fucking goal. That's it. I don't care who it is. You got to hold them all accountable. I don't give a fuck who it is. I don't give a fuck who it is. They all need to be held accountable. Always. So you got to do your local elections. You got to make sure you're up for special elections. You got to make sure you fucking ride their asses. Not literally, figuratively. I keep saying shit where I have to say, not literally, figuratively. I don't fucking care. I'll be concise, so I don't care. But for real, they give you a promise. You ride that fucking promise like a fucking angry fucking hog. And you just fucking you just do it. You just go. You don't shut up about it. You write them letters when they don't do it. You just don't shut the fuck up about it.
Claim
or else someone else isn't going to shut up and they'll get their way instead.
Absolute immunity for his actions during his presidency.
Currently, the only person not shutting up is Elon Musk. So, unless you want him to get the only ear, you got to speak up.
Has ignited a firestorm of controversy. This decision, which came after challenges related to Trump's role in the January 6th Capitol riot, reflects a broader trend of judicial decisions that some believe grant excessive power to presidents. Sotomayor's dissent, joined by Justices Kagan and Jackson, criticized this ruling as fundamentally unjustifiable, warning of its potential to disrupt the balance of power established since America's founding. Trump's response to these developments has been one of defiance. He has consistently dismissed any allegations of wrongdoing, framing legal challenges against him as politically motivated attacks aimed at undermining his potential return to office.
There are compilations of the contradictions. And, there's one thing, and that's admitting. See, the thing is, I don't care if you contradict yourself. I care that you're accountable, right? I don't care if you say one thing one day and another thing the next day, so long as you're accountable for... I need you to fucking make it make sense, brother. That's all I fucking give a shit about. Right? Because you can believe one day that it's important to, feed babies to the rich. Okay, score. Sick. However, you can still change your beliefs, you can grow as a person, and you can present something different to us. And I'm willing to hear that out. And I'm willing to accept that that is well and truly a thing we can do. You know, correcting our actions, not eating babies. But you gotta make it make sense, talk to the people, be accountable for your shit. Not the people as an aggregate, but like whatever you as an individual do, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. If you can't, be accountable for it.
This narrative resonates with his base, who view him as a victim of a biased judicial system. However, many legal experts express concern that such rhetoric could further erode public trust in judicial institutions. The implications of this ruling extend beyond Trump. They raise critical questions about how future presidents may interpret their powers. Critics warn that if presidents can evade accountability for their actions while in office, it could lead to significant abuses of power and undermine democratic principles. In her dissenting opinion, Justice Sonia Sotomayor articulated several key points that directly challenge the majority's ruling regarding Trump's immunity. One of her primary arguments is that the decision effectively creates a legal shield for presidents, allowing them to act without fear of accountability for their actions while in office. She emphasized that this could lead to dangerous precedents, where any misuse of presidential power becomes justifiable under the guise of official acts. Sotomayor.
Oops. Oh my gosh, I didn't mean to do that.
Breaking news.
There it is. Two different lines.
Under the guise of official acts. Sotomayor also referenced historical examples to support her position, arguing that American democracy has always held leaders accountable under the law.
I've only been to DC, like, to go to museums. They have pretty museums there. I am a fan of, I went to the National Geographic one, and I went to the Air and Space Museum. I forget. Hold on. I need to remember. Was that other one there before I misspeak? Am I wrong? Where is it? I think it was the National Air and Space. Yeah, no, I went to the National Air and Space Museum, the Tuskegee Airmen National Historic Site, or the museum, one of the two. I hit up the Tuskegee Airmen's thing and National Air and Space Museum because I have good fucking taste and I make good life choices. By the fucking way, in case it needed to be said, I make outstanding life choices. Which is why I would, of course, hit up Tuskegee Airmen and National Air and Space Museum. And was it also, is National History there? No, it's not. Is it? I'm pretty sure. Did I go there? Smithsonian National Museum of Natural History. Yeah, no, I went there too. That's in DC. Okay, sick. I had to be sure because I thought that was New York. I've been around the East Coast a little teeny bit, not very much. So I had to be sure. Okay, sorry.
Pointed out that allowing presidents to operate outside legal constraints undermines the foundational principle that no one is above the law. This assertion resonates with critics who fear that unchecked executive power could lead to future abuses reminiscent of authoritarian regimes. Moreover, she expressed—
I mean, I don't see a reason why a fucking, like, Washington, D.C. police officer couldn't just roll up on the fucking commander-in-chief and be like, bitch, what? I'm not even kidding. Like, if they have reasonable shit to bring, I'm for it. I don't see why that's not a thing even.
Concerned
like,
about how this ruling might affect public perception
like,
of the—
bitch, you realize, like, when you get elected, my mom taught me this when I was a kid. I was, like, super little, and I wanted to understand some shit. My mom explained it to me as the higher your position is, the more of a public servant you are, right? So, people go around thinking they're hot shit, when in reality, they are subservient to everyone. They are a public servant at the behest of the people with more on-call hours than people doing waste pickup. What's that mean? If you ask me, they get less protections than people doing waste pickup. They're both public servants. They got shit to do. They both work for the people. One of them actually does their job. And it's the waste management people. Shout out to my waste management homies. I hope you're doing well out there. Thank you for keeping us safe and cleanly and hygienic and alive. I accept and respect what you do. I don't know if everyone else knows how awesome you are.
Judiciary itself.
Thing being, the higher your position, the lower you are beneath everyone else's fucking needs. Your needs, your desires, they come lesser than the people. Sorry, your needs and desires come lesser so than that of those around you as your friends, and lesser so than those whom you answer to professionally, and lesser so than those to the people when you are in a public fucking office. Okay, the friends part and that's just how I treat the world. That's just me. But I don't like myself. I don't give a shit. Bitch. Like, you realize, like, honestly, working waste pickup is an upgrade on being a president or a mayor or a governor, right? Like, and I say that because waste management people's jobs are really fickle and sometimes used against them as a cudgel. I'm gonna be fucking for real. Why the fuck aren't we doing that more with our fucking representatives? We can fire them. We pay their money they use for fucking food. They don't eat unless we fucking employ them. God damn it. They only have food money and can go and feed their nasty asses because we hand them currency. And we're like, represent us. If they don't do it, don't feed them. They don't deserve your food money. Fuck them. No, it won't be the government forgetting to renew itself. Just be like, fuck you, bitch. Get out. Impeach that ass, bitch. Fuck it. I don't give a shit. Do something that works. Fuck it.
Citizens believe that
they don't do your job. If they don't do their goddamn job that you, the people, told them to fucking do, you fucking eject their fucking ratchet ass. Jeez.
Leaders can evade legal consequences simply due to their position. It may foster a sense of disillusionment with democratic institutions.
Yeah, but meanwhile, if my waste pickup people break the law, they go to jail too. So why does this person not? You are a public servant at the behest of the fucking people. Subject yourself to them and the laws that you make. If you can't subject yourself to the laws that you make, what the fuck are you doing? Also, who the fuck are you?
Sotomayor's dissent serves as both a warning and a plea for maintaining integrity within the justice system, highlighting her commitment to upholding democratic values against encroaching authoritarianism. Hold on. Interested in political news? Like and subscribe to Global News Network. Let's continue.
Bikes? Ooh. I love bike lanes. Okay, cool. Bike and people walking their youth. That's super cute. Okay, I'm here for it. Ooh. 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 Ooh.
Subscribe to Global News.
I thought I saw bread. Not breed, bread. I thought I saw bread.
Network.
I'm easy.
Let's continue.
It doesn't take much. Just like
the legal implications of Justice Sotomayor's dissent against Trump's
show me something
claim
I can
profound
just
and
show me something that I smile at.
By arguing that presidents should not be granted blanket immunity for their actions while in office, Sotomayor raises critical questions about presidential accountability and the limits of executive power. Her dissent underscores concerns that such rulings may set dangerous...
Like, the president isn't supposed to be able to enact law or go to war without Congress. And Congress is also the people who are supposed to serve the people. So...
precedents that could allow future presidents to act with impunity, potentially leading to significant abuses of power.
Also, don't forget, when one of these little things happens, it's gonna take, like, at least 50 years to uncrack it from our shit. Like, wait up, hold on. Oh, I need to do some research. Hold on.
Sotomayor's comments also highlight the potential for legal challenges against future administrations if they engage in misconduct while claiming immunity based on this ruling. The majority opinion implies a narrow definition of what constitutes official acts, which could render many actions taken by presidents immune from scrutiny or prosecution. This interpretation risks creating a legal gray area where corrupt behavior might be excused under official duties. Furthermore, Her dissent raises alarms about how this decision could affect ongoing investigations into Trump's actions surrounding January 6th and other controversies. If courts adopt this...
Okay, just so we're clear, right? 1986, 88 proposed. 34 years here. Okay. Title I of the ADA. Over 15 employees. Supreme Court Toyota. Writing the ADA. Updated transportation regulations. Signed in 2008. Effective ADAAA. Anyways, update regulations, Title II, Title III. 2010. Do you think that we're like... Access Board and DOJ updated guidelines and rules? I just hope you realize that it's like 25 years of litigating the lifetime of most people way back in the day, right? Like, your boy Jesus died before the, like, if your boy Jesus was born in 1986, brother man would be dead by the time the ADA is passed. That's what I'm saying. Shit's really slow to go through, so when you let something happen that's a little tacky, you gotta be cautious. And those things that I'm calling tacky, the degrading of privacy and security issued to the public that will be hung around the necks of your children and your children's children in ways that they will not have the power, framework, or information, education, or edification to come fucking bat, because no one fucking prepared them. Ever. Because they will grow up in a world void of the same protections.
This broad interpretation of
They'll
presidential
just never
immunity,
have what we had.
it
We
may
fucked them
severely
over
limit
internally.
prosecutors' ability to hold leaders accountable for
Forever.
unlawful conduct during their time in office.
Ever.
Ultimately, Sotomayor's dissent serves as a crucial reminder of the importance of maintaining checks and balances
Bless you.
within government structures and ensuring that all individuals, regardless of position, are subject to the law. In response to the Justice Sotomayor's bombshell dissent and recent Supreme Court rulings regarding his immunity, former President Donald Trump has maintained a posture.
There's been a lot of judge shopping going on. You're going to have to keep an eye on what provinces, prefectures, states, and locales get assigned which judges and which cases follow them to that. That's valid. Because the shaping of the judiciary allows for more efficacious judge shopping, which means things that get passed will be codified into our laws for longer than most people you know will ever live for. You know? Most people you know will be dead before things change.
Of defiance and dismissal. He continues to frame ongoing legal challenges as politically motivated attacks aimed at undermining his credibility and potential return to office. This narrative resonates strongly with his base, but raises concerns among legal experts regarding its impact on public trust in judicial processes. Trump's rhetoric suggests he views these legal battles as part of an ongoing struggle against what he terms witch hunts. His insistence on portraying himself as a victim may galvanize his supporters, but risks alienating.
I mean, it's easier to portray yourself as a victim when you can literally point to society deeming it appropriate to actively bully you. I'm just saying, we only had to talk about the policy. We didn't have to talk and we had to talk about the policy and the legality of his actions. We didn't have to call him orange. That's inappropriate. It's a lot easier to cast shade for bullshit when motherfuckers bully on you too. So then the motherfuckers that don't want to bully have to then address the stipulation and speculation that they must be a bully because they're a dissenting opinion. Because all the bullies got out there and bullied people first. You know, I'm just saying, no shade. Love you. But I'm gonna call unhelpful unhelpful and point you in a direction you can be helpful. Cheers.
Moderate voters who might view such claims as attempts to evade accountability. Critics argue that this approach undermines respect for judicial institutions and could further polarize an already divided electorate. the potential impact of Trump's response extends beyond immediate political ramifications. It may also influence how future administrations approach issues of accountability and governance. If Trump successfully frames these legal challenges as partisan attacks, it may embolden other politicians facing scrutiny to adopt similar strategies, potentially leading to an erosion of standards regarding ethical conduct in public office. As Trump continues to navigate these tumultuous waters, his ability to maintain support while addressing serious legal concerns will be critical not only for his political future, but also for broader implications regarding governance and accountability in American democracy. The unprecedented nature of Justice Sotomayor's dissent has elicited a range of responses from her colleagues on the Supreme Court. Chief Justice John Roberts, while not directly addressing Sotomayor's comments, has emphasized the importance of the judicial impartiality and the need to maintain public trust in the institution. His measured statements suggest a desire to downplay internal divisions and present a united front. Justice Clarence Thomas, known for his conservative stance, has indirectly criticized Sotomayor's approach, suggesting that such public disagreements could undermine the court's legitimacy. In contrast, Justice Elena Kagan has subtly supported the Sotomayor's position, emphasizing the importance of checks and balances in her own public statements. The silence from Justices Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett is notable, possibly indicating their discomfort with the situation or a desire to avoid further controversy. Justice Alito, however, has been more vocal in his opposition to Sotomayor's view, defending the majority opinion in public forums. This internal discord highlights the growing ideological divide within the court and raises questions about its ability to function as an impartial arbiter of justice. The justices' reactions also reflect broader concerns about the politicization of the judiciary and its potential impact on future rulings. Justice Sotomayor's dissent has sent shockwaves through the political landscape, significantly impacting the 2024 election dynamics. The Democratic Party has seized.
Okay, I'm gonna just take a moment to bitch about this. Hi, y'all. Never escalate words to fists, ever. I don't give a fuck. Like, if you see someone harming someone and you need to intervene, that's one thing. You can hear someone spewing hate, and there are appropriate things you can do that don't involve escalation, by the way. I'm just pointing that out as a contrast to, like, a very, I believe, useful one. To just say, don't escalate. Internal thing. Like, you might see how it externally impacts you. That's one thing. But it's not the it's not the supporter themselves. Even, like, do y'all know how many motherfuckers already, like, feel both hoodwinked and indignified? Like, y'all motherfuckers, do we even accept that people have complex lives and they can't be so easily doled out and understood and even divvied up and cut into lots based upon our own internalized prescriptions? Like, do we not realize that people have their whole goddamn life going on and we don't know their shit? Like, not trying to talk eternal shit, but, like, see, you perceive that, but you gotta also just ask people, like, to an extent, you can, like, as long as you have the safety to do so, Vess, you probably need to not assume that raised voices are even raised voices until you're sure, because, like, people are different. I talk quietly and I talk quickly. And the more excited I get, or the more, like, you know, happy I get, the more comfortable I get, the faster I'll speak. And some people think I'm trying to fool them because I speak quick, and that's their personal experience, letting them evaluate others based upon their own experiences, which there's a word for that. That's also called prejudice. In case someone needed to say it. Anywho's. By the fucking way. So. All I'm saying is words don't have to be escalated into fucking fists. That's it. Don't throw punches, don't throw slaps on words. If you're protecting a body. Like, the one time I could imagine myself doing that, my ex came home one day and was like, oh, I saw this girl getting beaten up in the car by a dude. And I'm like, I understand that he's not a confrontational person. I would have gone and pulled that motherfucker off. Like, he called the 5-0, good on him. I would have fucking pulled someone off, straddled that ass, and then called the 5-0 while I would have called them on the way running up, like, come here, here's the goddamn address, show up now. It's fucking, there's this dude hitting somebody, and I'm about to fucking subdue this motherfucker. That's all you'd hear. I'd throw my motherfucking phone and I would just run before they could be like, don't do it, bitch. We'll have to take you too. I'd be like, fuck this, running. Anywho's. There's a reason and a time and a place for everything. I think the time and place to, like, you know, protect people with your martial ability is when someone is being aggressed martially. You know how I didn't even mention if you are? Because, like, for me, I don't give a shit. You can hit me and I'll probably, as long as it's not like a flurry and I have to break out of it and protect myself, I'll probably just take the goddamn shit and look at you like, that is the weakest bullshit I have seen. My dad hits harder, and he's a fucking little bitch that hits women and children. The fuck are you fucking mistake of a fucking bitch? You couldn't even fucking throw a goddamn blow to make me roar a fucking tear, you fucking indignant shitcock. That's what I'd do if someone hit me. I just shit on them, like, till I got bored. Like, fuck you. My dad throws punches harder, and he's a fucking old-ass man and a little bitch. Fuck you. Like, fuck you. I got 2 dads. Both of them are fucking assholes, and both of them can hit better than your bitch ass. I'm just a fucking dickneck. I don't give a shit. So my point being, don't throw fists. I think that there's a lot of ways you can address it. And the reason I framed it that way is like, I can see doing it for others is I just personally, like, I don't give a shit. Like, if you just throw a winger at me, I'm gonna be like, fucking what? You have got to be on some shit. Like, you were obviously fucking, like, on bullshit gas today. You woke up and you looked out in the sky and saw the stars and space and all the pretty things, and you were like, those are some really pretty galaxies out there. And you just took a deep breath, and then there was gas inside of you. In this case, oxygen, nitrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, radion, argon, carbon dioxide, and monoxide, and other trace gases inclusive of helium. So, you know, you woke up and broke that gas, but I'ma think you're on galaxy gas if you throw fucking fists.
Upon her
Wrong tab. Nice play button. Nice play pause button. Thanks, buddy.
Words as a rallying cry, using them to emphasize the importance of the Supreme Court in their campaign messaging. This has energized their base, particularly among them progressive voters who see the court's decision as a threat to democratic norms. On the Republican side, reactions have been mixed. While some have criticized Sotomayor for what they perceive as judicial activism.
I mean, genuinely, it's like, you can't look at people as a monolith. You're gonna say, like, partisan politics shit, except that people aren't monoliths. Like, I'm sorry, what? Of course not every fucking bipartisan person has the same beliefs as their platform, the other bipartisan people that run with them. Of fucking course not. They're fucking individual. What the fuck do you think? God damn it. I'm sure half of them want fucking, you know, pickled peas, and the other half of them don't want pickled peas. I'm sure half of you want me to eat my fucking lip shit, and the other half of you are like, that would be fucking nasty. Right? Okay, cool. Don't fuck with me. But, like, people aren't a goddamn monolith. You can't assume that just because someone subscribes to a party that they even have the same, like, here, let me make this real simple, right? Just first off, you know why I say believe? Like, listen to people, but don't trust everything offhand. It's like, people report their fucking problems and shit that going, like, literally, they will be like, I got a problem. It's big. Look at it. Listen. And they might overreport or underreport. Abuse victims typically underreport their abuse and refuse to accept it, even when they're being, like, protected by a legal system that has to act on their behalf. People who do abuse always minimize it and downgrade it. People going to the doctor either overreport or underreport. This has to be documented and is a relevant thing in further fucking findings for your fucking care provider. No shit. It's like, people are different people and they think different. No shit.
Others are concerned about the potential backlash against Trump and how it might affect down-ballot races. The GOP faces a delicate balancing act of supporting Trump while not alienating moderate voters who may be troubled by the implications of the court's ruling. The issue of the judicial appointments has once again taken center stage, with both parties highlighting the importance of controlling the White House and Senate to shape the future of the Supreme Court. This focus on the judiciary could overshadow other campaign issues, potentially altering voter priorities. Independent and swing.
Yeah, by the way, this is one of the reasons I keep saying, hey, you know what's really fucking important? Local elections. Trust me. Don't make me pause it again.
Voters are showing increased concern about the balance of power and the role of the presidency, which could influence tight races in key battleground states.
Like, basically, you need to watch your representatives. Remember, they're like people like you and me. They're people like you. They do what you do. They're people like me. They didn't want to focus through fucking middle school, let alone high school or fucking, like, college. Right? Like, bruh, do you think I can do the same shit for 4 fucking years and not be salty about it? No. What the fuck? The fuck? Bitch, hell no. Goddamn. Keep them accountable, because it should be unreasonable that you would expect a person to stick to their shit and not have fucking fatigue of some sort that impedes them from doing their goddamn job without support. And the support is you being the reminder, you constantly reminding them. That's how you help, because, like, they do need support too. I do talk a lot of shit on our reps, and I talk a lot less shit on our judiciary, but they all still need fucking assistance, and that's gonna be us as people, the people. We the people are also the motherfuckers in that office. In case you forgot, they are us too. They should be subject to the same goddamn laws. They're in it with us.
The political fallout from Sotomayor's dissent has intensified polarization, making bipartisan cooperation on major issues even more challenging in the run-up to the election. While Justice Sotomayor's dissent is remarkable for its directness, it is not without historical precedent. In 1953, Justice Robert Jackson publicly criticized President Truman's seizure of steel mills during the Korean War, setting an early example of judicial pushback against executive overreach. Similarly, in the 1970s, several justices expressed concerns about President Nixon's actions during the Watergate scandal, though mostly through their rulings rather than public statements. More recently, Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg faced backlash for her 2016 comments criticizing then-candidate Donald Trump, which many viewed as a breach of judicial ethics. This incident led to discussions about the appropriate—
No, I like the judiciary because they write really helpful shit for me to read, and it's formatted in a very efficacious way for me to parse it. It's written consistently, it abides by standards and norms, and thusly I like reading it.
Boundaries for justices' public statements on political matters. The Warren Court of the 1950s and 1960s was known for its activism in civil rights cases, often drawing criticism from conservative politicians. This era set a precedent for the court's involvement in politically charged issues, though individual justices generally refrained from direct confrontations with presidents. Historically, most justices have preferred to let their written opinions speak for themselves, making Sotomayor's vocal dissent particularly noteworthy.
But
this departure from tradition reflects the increasingly polarized—
I want my goddamn plant-based grilled cheese ass motherfucking sandwich, so goddamn motherfucking piss ass cock bad right fucking now. This shit's delicious.
Political climate and raises questions about the evolving role of the Supreme Court in American democracy. The American public's reaction to Justice Sotomayor's dissent has been deeply divided, reflecting the broader political polarization in the country. Polls indicate that a significant portion of Democrats and left-leaning independents view her words as a necessary warning about the erosion of democratic norms. Many in this group see Sotomayor as a courageous defender of constitutional principles.
Am I like the only person in the goddamn country, I'm saying this sarcastically, but am I for real the only person in the goddamn country that has joy, that most of my ballots are like fucking split ballots. Like there's not every color I can put in there, but like there's at least like there's multiple party representation in most of my goddamn ballots. I'm pretty sure all of them. I just like literally can't remember. Cause like remember, it's like local shit. It's like who goes in charge for transportation, who's in charge of what body of transportation, who's in charge. Cause those are my favorite ones, by the way. Transportation ones. Fucking love them. You know, like cause like I will go into the motherfucking ballot with my goddamn phone out and get into a fight with polling staff about how I can do this with my own goddamn shit if I want to. Cause I'll go in there and I'll start reading. Like I will go live, read your goddamn voting history again. Like I'll be in the fucking line telling everyone about how you can do this and it's so fun and great. And like I'll fucking go in there and I'll do that and I'll be like looking around me and all the fucking lovely polling people are like, oh, you like doing your research? We love doing our research. And everyone else is like, oh, shit, you can do that? I'm like, fuck yeah, bro. Here's this. Take this. Poll workers. That sentence is weird. Like, if, when you just like say poll worker, you ever just like, you wonder if someone misinterprets you and think that you're talking about strip clubs? That would be very strange. But no, poll workers from like the ballot place, right? We have nonpartisan conversations about the importance of research and voting as a fucking practice to participate and do. I really do appreciate that. Because, like, we will come together to nag at everyone to do their own goddamn research. You know? Or people who work on power lines. I used to hang out with a power line dude. We used to like he was the dude who would watch he'd put on I'd go to his house after work because I'd worked at the gas station then. He'd get back from the mill, he would work at the steel mill. And you know, he'd still be covered in fucking grease and shit. And he'd give me a fucking beer and he'd have him a beer and he'd give me a beer. We'd crank on Bernie motherfucking Mac and we would sit on the couch and just talk about fucking anything. Like all goddamn day long. That was it. I loved that. That was like that is honestly a highlight of my life. Is like fucking bro and I and his roommate did MMA. Also came, sat down, talked with us, had fun. Didn't drink beer, but didn't give a fuck. He'd smoke. I'd smoke. I'd drink and smoke. He'd drink and smoke. Other dude only smoked. Dude's girlfriend, on the other hand, drank and smoked. So we were friends. We were all friends. I don't care if you drink or smoke. I'm gonna get along with you as long as you're, you know, kind to others, and you know, that's really I don't give a shit. You know, that's kind of it. But yeah, so I don't know, power line worker, really cool. People who do like trash pickup, waste management people, fucking love them. Always fun to hang out with. Not to generalize groups of people, but like I don't know, like most of my time is spent hanging out with like mill workers, farmers, fucking like and entry people at like big ass companies and just constantly shitting on executives. I got my priorities in order. My priorities. My prioritas. My prioritatas. No, I'm gonna grab my knee, not my tatas. You can literally see my knee. If I grab my tatas, you're gonna be like, that person's more flat than me when I was fucking just up on the come up as a fucking embryo. And I'll be like, yeah, you're right, bro. Fuck you. I am flatter than you when you were an embryo. I don't give a shit, bitch. I'm happy with myself. I like myself some days. I also hate myself, but I don't give a shit.
Conversely,
so anyways, support each other, love each other, work together, be kind, support each other, don't generalize, don't assume people's internal states just because they did something doesn't mean that they have the same comprehension of it that you did. You know, because like I've met people who voted for Mr. Trump and they don't like look at it as like, you know, they don't look at it in a galvanizing way when I've spoken to them. They just look at it as like they didn't know. They are looking at policy when they can. But they were just like working hard, here's some stuff. And remember, this is why I'm trying to keep track of how many campaign promises got made. Because like I genuinely feel, I am fairly certain about it, but I feel like there was basically a scattershot of campaign promises issued in an escalating volume throughout the last 3 administrations at least. And I personally am curious if it's an increase, if it's the constant, if it's happened before, etc., which I know we have to like, we can't really harvest the most historical data in this to such an extent. I want to know, is it a swell of campaign promises that have been unmet, that have left a disenfranchised populace that feels unheard and unseen in a world where we know the cost of letting people feel unheard and unseen is an increased loss, an increased likelihood we will lose their life on our fucking planet, and how sad I would be if that happens? Like, yeah, I don't know. Anywho's, support your entry-level workers.
Conservative-leaning individuals perceive her comments as overstepping judicial bounds and potentially undermining the court's credibility. Some accuse Sotomayor of political bias, arguing that her dissent is motivated.
See, the thing is, I think it's a nonpartisan take to say that that the commander-in-chief should have some regulation on them that mitigates their ability to take unbounded action. I do think that's appropriate, regardless of partisanship. I don't think a partisan person, like, I'm a person who's like bitching about how I love that most of my ballots are split ballots, right? Like, I got a little bit of everybody in there. I'm up there live reading what's their fucking take, what's their fucking policy thing on the thing that I care about. I'm not a single issue voter, goddammit. I fucking care about policy, bitch. So I'm sitting there in the fucking ballot checking shit out. So I don't get the not doing
more
that.
By partisan concerns than legal principles. Interestingly,
I honestly don't see it as a partisan thing. As a person who like oftentimes takes a moment to gripe at the bipartisan people and say love each other, I love you. Like, I have my things that I care about. I have things that I'm passionate about. You know what those are, right? Like, generally they're things that serve people who like you and I, and like people who work and need to, like, people who are children and need to go to school need buses. Buses need to have their own lanes so they can be consistent. Like, trains need to be redeployed en masse, but doing so with electric hybrids instead of just petrol. So when they're cruising through the cities, our biggest complaint about them making noise and waking up everyone isn't consistently the only complaint or only statement we have about trains, because I grew up in range of a train track, and it was very loud. I was used to it with time and age, but I can see if you're new to it not being, especially if you've grown up away from it and then having to be plunged into it, sounds terrifying. I need to go make a grilled cheese soon, by the way. But like, if you're also working on a power line, I love the videos of people who like do physics demonstrations in the worst way. Well, they'll work on the power line and then they'll like dangle from just the line. Those people fuck me up. Those people really fuck my brain up, because I get it. You're not going, it can't go through you to ground. You're not the least resistant thing. You're not like, you're not just like loose resistance, mostly made of water. I get it, fine. But here's the thing, I don't give a fuck if you're doing physics, wizardry, ninjutsu, I don't give a fuck, bro. I don't like watching people do it, even though I love watching people do it. It's a
notable
thing.
Segment of
me and fucking people like who circumvent like bridging current from place to place so they can work on power lines while basically treating it like a big pull-up bar. Yeah, that's when my brain goes bipartisan, because like on one hand, do I want it? Yes. On the other, do I want it? No. Why do I want it? Because they're safe and they got home okay. Why do I not want it? Because if they don't get home okay, I'll be sad.
Moderate voters express unease with both the court's ruling and Sotomayor's response, indicating a growing concern about the politicization of the judiciary.
See, the response in its whole can be assessed like, I can see you assessing the whole response in a way, but I think you should make the takeaway that it's to limit power, because if you like focus on the response, I think that the Honorable Justice Sonia would have maybe had more ease not using a person's name. I genuinely feel like not saying a name makes it easier, because if you don't say a name, they can't call it politicization or call it partisanship. And if you just talk about the issues, they can't defer you into that reasonably. It's okay. Shit happens. We live. We're here.
This group tends to view the situation as symptomatic of broader institutional challenges facing American democracy. Social media platforms have seen a surge in discussions about the role of the Supreme Court, with Sotomayor's words becoming rallying points for various political movements.
This we've already seen.
However, there's also evidence of increased public confusion about the complexities of constitutional law and the court's role. Legal experts and academics have been prominent voices in public debates, offering varied interpretations of Sotomayor's dissent and its implications. Their analyses have contributed to a more nuanced public understanding, though they've also highlighted the complexity of the issues at stake.
Oh no, that's the other thing.
The fallout from Justice Sotomayor's dissent could have far-reaching consequences for both the Supreme Court and former President Trump. For the court, this incident may accelerate discussions about judicial reform, including proposals for term limits or expanding the number of justices. There's growing concern that the court's perceived politicization could erode public trust, potentially leading to calls for more stringent ethical guidelines for justices. The court may face increased scrutiny in future cases involving executive power, with observers closely watching for signs of ideological bias. This heightened attention could influence how justices approach their opinions and public statements, potentially leading to more cautious behavior or, conversely, more outspoken dissents. For Trump, Sotomayor's words could complicate his legal and political strategies. While he may use her dissent to rally his base by portraying himself as a victim of judicial activism, it could also reinforce concerns among moderate voters about his respect for democratic institutions. The dissent might be used as ammunition in ongoing legal challenges against Trump, potentially influencing lower court decisions. The incident could also impact Trump's campaign narrative by forcing him to address questions about executive power and accountability more directly. There's a risk that continued focus on these issues could distract from his preferred campaign themes. Long-term, this episode may contribute to a reevaluation of presidential immunity and the balance of powers between branches of government, potentially leading to legislative efforts to clarify or limit executive privileges. Thank you for watching. Justice Sotomayor's bold statements could reshape the political landscape and influence the upcoming election. What are your thoughts on her comments? Share your opinions in the comments below. If you found this video insightful, please like, subscribe to Global News Network, and hit the notification bell for more updates on important legal and political developments. Let's continue the conversation about the impact of the Supreme Court on our democracy.
Don't mind me. There are tabs for later. I'm just chilling. Okay, back and forth. I was like trying to guess where this was going. In public election, I'd say. Wait, voters further the key point shared by the official from election security depressing. Okay, never mind.
Respect to Thailand and it faces the
1 minute
consequences. What is this?
I don't care what it is. I wanna fucking cut your ass alive.
Turn out.
Fuck you.
Hey. 150.
Oh shit.
Yo, I didn't mean to. I pay money. I pay money. I give money. No. I take off. Look. Wait. Yeah, chill. Yeah, I give money. I didn't mean to. No. You don't need the money. You don't.
Hold on. I'll get through this.
Yeah, I didn't mean to destroy property.
We don't do that.
I know. I'm sorry.
We don't need money. You don't do like this in here.
I'm sorry.
Just say, get the fuck out of here, Somali wannabe. I know, man. Like, these people are making a huge mistake doing this. Eventually, one of them's gonna get killed. It's gonna happen 100%. Like, there's no way it won't.
Man, I sure do wonder on what platform this was streamed. A total mystery.
Okay, hold up. Little tangent. So we're gonna have to keep our eyes open for dodgy bullshit involving people who do speculative shit. 150 million people who are counted hitting up the election. VAP and VEP, the most valid turnout and registered voter, valid turnout rates over time. And across the states are calculated in both voting eligible population. So voting eligible population is VEP and VAP is voting age population. Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So I can just scroll for turnout. 150. 150. I was just looking at, like, first off, how we've scaled over time based upon reports. Here's the thing, though. People with, like, people who are, differently abled folks were kind of kept away from being able to until about the 80s with the ADA and the consideration that, like, people with, like, not necessarily kept away, but, like, there was no protection for them getting into the places of polling. Memory serves until we have, like, regulations like that. I could be wrong. I'm just thinking out loud really fast. Okay. So, anywho's, I was just like, voting age population 2, turnout, dude. Okay, so we're looking at, how's it trending? Participation in 1930s looks pretty baller. I mean, it's not great, but it's like, which one is which one? Turnout, voting population, voting eligible population. Okay, we didn't have eligible till later. Okay, then we like start looking at about half of the population turning out. That's pretty sweet. That's a start. About, about a little more than half in 1984, actually. So when people who were people who were differently abled were allowed and had support getting outside from the 1980s efforts that would have pushed like better access. That's cute. It's cute to see a correlation. It doesn't mean that it's the reason, but it's cute to see something there. Anywho's, because it's like 86 million out of 105 million, and that's like just holy shit. Sorry, not 86. Yeah, 86 as opposed to like, I mean, it's like whatever prior, right? It's like fine. It's hold on. I guess we should just look at the first two, huh? Okay, so it's that this is like, a little above half. That's still pretty chill. It's not like, we'll take it. We'll take it. I mean, I guess it does have percentage here, doesn't it? Eligible pop. Okay. Yeah, it's like, it pretty much stays trended. Like, it stays pretty bound. Okay, that's cool. Sweet. I was just curious. I needed to get a number. Again, my identification has been, like, still missing this whole time, and I've been, like, struggling to get my shit together. So, go fuck yourselves.
But I definitely want to flag people with brown skin or other color skins that, hey, you realize what's going to happen.
That's kind of...
I am definitely not a racist, but I definitely want to flag people with brown skin or other color skins that...
Here's the thing. If you're looking at things skin deep to justify or articulate your logic, you are fucking up if you ask me for my terse little call on it. But no, it's like genuinely not beneficial to like try to take a stance opposed to racialism while then making every one of your analyses dependent upon racialism to articulate them. You can't show your own self escaping its bounds. How are other people to aspirantly look at you and suppose they can escape the bounds of petty and paltry racialism and ethnocentrism if we don't break away from it, even in our goddamn motherfucking analyses? Big hearts and big love.
Hey, you realize what's going to happen.
That's kind of racist if you're targeting...
Also, someone asked me why someone mentioned, like, tagging it, like, okay, we mentioned, like, the current TOS change on Twitch, and how come if we give, like, just a general non-polarizing view, we can get away with this consistently. And I was raised to me, why don't we stream under the politics label if we're going to be patient, calm with people, and also articulate that like that? Because it would remove ads on Twitch, right? It's because I want my fucking patient, kind ass on the goddamn front page staring at every motherfucker who so fucking chooses to wander on the goddamn website bitching about fucking kindness and mindfulness, goddammit. It's so my fucking bitch ass is plastered on the front page so fucking hard that when Twitch is like, oh, we need more people who aren't fomenting hate, I'm right the fuck there and they can eat my fucking butthole about it. What, you want to eat it too? You can't. You fucking can't.
I'm
That's
not
the thing.
targeting you.
You are. You just said I'm finding people.
Other color skins that want to flag people with brown skin or other color skins that hate. You realize what's going to happen.
That's kind of racist if you're targeting certain individuals.
I'm not targeting you.
You are. You just said I'm finding people with brown skin. Hello?
On November 4th, 2024 in Washington,
Again, this is why I consistently say, I don't care who you say you're protecting or whose side you say you're on. I don't care if you think you want to protect me. If your analyses can't break away from dualism and racialism, I don't need you. You are causing me harm. You think you're helping me, but you're actually why I fucking fear going out fucking side is you. I don't think it's you. I don't think y'all are here that do that, but like I'm being fucking... Hi, if you're watching the VOD, you can meet me in the comments if you want to. I do read them every fucking time, and I do my best to reply. I still love you, even if you do it. I think you can grow, and I'm articulating it as cleanly and clearly as I can, so you actually know what people want of you instead of just take flack and get berated. Because I think that's important when you're giving someone critique, to give them something actionable to do, or else you're just giving them foul, indignant words without direction, and you're making them feel bad in a way that they can't even pull themselves out of the dirt with. That's not helpful, and I don't like that.
Police were called to the scene for a report of an assault. Officers arrived to find multiple community members supporting a specific political figure. They also observed the suspect engaging with these supporters. When officers contacted the suspect, she stated that she could not understand why people of color would support this particular candidate.
Okay, 2024. Big take from me. Big vegcom take here, right? Gray cells are cranking. Let's go. You know, I asked someone, not precisely to explain themselves, but I know someone who, you know, they also find themselves victim of, like, racialism and colorism in the States and, like, begging it to stop. Just, you know, same complaints and gripes I got, right? And so we were talking about shit, and I'm like, okay, well, make sure you hold your representatives accountable. I've never seen them historically not need to be held accountable. And I just talked about them with, like, shit that I saw, and you know what? When it came to policy stuff and contradictions, I would sit there on my goddamn phone, and I would go and Google it while I'm talking to them, and I'd be like, okay, authoritative source, here you go. Here's this time, here's this time. I understand that people change, but this is why you need to ride your executives and ride your representatives and make them be accountable, because they make all these promises to all these people, and they will only really do what they're told to do, because they've made a billion promises. They've got a job. They've got, like, in this one's case, kids and a wife and a job, and then probably extracurricular shit to do. Like, I assume he likes to go, like, fucking, you know, dancing at the jazz bar. I don't fucking know what he likes doing. I don't fucking know. I'm not him. But, like, still in all, you gotta hold them accountable because they're doing other shit that doesn't involve your ass. So involve your ass. Like, basically, pull a vegcom, pull an Elon, right? Be the most loud ass, rambunctious ass, in their goddamn face ass motherfucker you can be. Because I need you to be okay. And that's it. Love you. Aren't you?
Who is it? Is it this lady right here?
I want my fucking grilled cheese.
Yeah.
I want my fucking plant-based ass grilled cheese. I'm pretty sure it's cashew cheese. Well, it might not be, because cashew cheese is runny. This provolone shit's pretty fucking solid. I don't even know what they made it of. I know it's made of plants. That's all I fucking know, coach. I don't remember shit else. I read the label. I was like, I read the label and I'm like, good. See, I read saw the cute little fucking V of a plant, and I was like, score. And I saw the label, and I'm like, okay, nothing that I'm allergic to, not like, you know, not fucking killing me. Nothing I have to watch out for per my doctor. Let's go. And I just started eating it. I forgot what else. After that point, I cleared it, and I was like, I don't give a shit. It's something. It's something. I checked it once. I'm good. Let's go. Checked it once. I'll check it again if I have to. If I hear about a recipe change.
She pushed another lady.
Okay. Just out of the blue, or?
She's arguing about all of this.
I don't know what the situation was. We were over here. And then she actually put her hands on somebody and pushed them?
Yeah, the gal in the gold coat right there with the red sweater, she saw it.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Also, good job. Just tell them what they need and let them fucking go.
Hello, ma'am.
I mean, honestly, as long as they're doing their jobs and not like overreaching, I'm for them trying to find more equitable and efficacious ways to keep their jobs, do their jobs in more equitable and efficacious ways. And I think that's why I nag about articulating the things you need people to do and not just demanding that CEOs and whole like sectors of employ evaporate, but instead give them guidance for how they can meet your fucking needs. Because I have accommodations in the workplace, at school, in relationships. I don't know if you know this, but when I've dated people, I have to tell them about accommodations I need in the fucking household, right? And that's tedious sometimes because I have to tell them like some people just don't want to fucking be around me. That's fine. I don't need that, and they don't need me. We're good.
Let's stay on the sidewalk so we don't get
okay. Here's what happened. I approached her and I said, I'm trying to understand why you're supporting Trump.
Okay, asking questions. Okay, cool. But like again, when person was like talking with me, I wasn't like, why are you doing this? Don't interrogate them. Just like strike up a conversation, see what they themselves think. Like if anything, tell me what you think about this person and their policy is the way I would lead in. And it's not tone policing if it's content policing, right? Tone policing is policing the goddamn tone. Content copying, what I'm doing right fucking now, is saying, oh, maybe you should not like intentionally choose words that are terse and antagonistic when you feign your shit as trying to learn about others. Now, it doesn't matter if you are or aren't. Point being, if you are feigning it, don't do it like that. If you aren't, doesn't matter.
And then I said, you're brown skinned. What do you think's going to happen to you?
Why would you say something like that?
Because she is brown skinned. And that's...
Bad actors happen, but the only bad actor is, have you seen me do improv? It's honestly shitty.
That's what the racists are...
Okay, I'm not talking politics with you. I want to know.
And now this person has right now they need to talk about their assaulting a person. Like there's no space for the police to give a fuck about like inspecting someone's internal state with a meta-analysis of the fucking current world we're in.
No.
Yeah, but like you hear me do it sometimes, so I don't fucking care.
Like that. Just like I did.
You can't do that.
I realize that.
Okay,
but
stay.
Even if somebody...
Do you know her? Are you... Okay, are you by yourself?
I'm by myself.
Desperation's terrifying. And this person's desperate, by the way. They're crying out from a place of desperation because they see a need for something and they don't see it in their world. And they are with fear, indignation, running up to people, asking a question that they have convinced themselves is appropriate. Inspecting internal states because they have convinced themselves it's appropriate. I still think they need some fucking port, right? I don't think that invalidates them for being like a person. Like, that doesn't take away their personhood. It's just like, you know what? I'm going to be critical of everyone's policy calls because I've been critical of Maxine Waters. I will be critical of, golly gosh, gee, I was critical of Mr. Bush, Mr. Clinton, Mr. Obama, Mr. Trump, Mr. Biden. I've been critical of these propositions of Mrs. Harris. I don't realize if you know, and I'm just critical of everyone. Like, I will say the shit that I feel, and I will tell you why I feel and reason and think that way. I'll give you source material too. I don't give a fuck. But like, you should be critical of all of them, but that's being critical of everyone equally and not expecting people in office to keep their campaign promises, I'd consider that a very nonpartisan take that is very helpful for y'all as a whole, right? I'm trying to point out how you don't even have to reference a person's name and trip up the galvanizing, right? You can dead ass just talk about the policy decisions. I've been critical of policy decisions and their impact on people since I was fucking a child. I used to be fucking, oh my gosh. I'm pretty sure, holy fuck, was I 16 when I was learning to like express my criticality for my fucking government? I'm pretty sure it was like that. Basically, I've doubled my time on the earth and I've just kept on doing it. It only makes you faster at it. It helps to practice. You know? Point being, when you're going to be critical of them, you don't even have to say their name. You can talk about their policy. You don't have to, like, you know, invent shit or make believe up a thing or even go off of information you can't cite. You can go off of the shit people say and do in public. You can also go there with materia. If you're going to, like, levy accusations, like accusing someone of racialism or racism, like, okay, but the police have multiple people saying that you, like, assaulted a person, bro. Ain't nobody else ready to support your ass in that because you haven't even expressed yourself. Express yourself. It's not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it, right?
Do it the way, like, you're not taking that in. I am taking it in, but that doesn't give somebody an excuse to put their hands on. You're not taking and, like, even do it the way.
And again, I'm gonna say that when you look at these two who are having the person who was assaulted and the assaulter, the person who was assaulted is being quite amicable. They are not being aggressive at this point. They are speaking directly to the officer when addressed. They're not antagonizing the person who assaulted them. They're debriefing. That's it. I can't believe I was looking at the fucking Axon body cam manuals and found the default password. Holy shit. That shit's wild. Fuck me, bro. Anywho's, I think that some police stations let you look at their body cam footage just like on the go. And that's why I was looking for identifiers. Because I then found that out. And I want to go like double, triple, quadruple checking before I show y'all motherfuckers. Because like that could be the funniest shit and the most horrifying shit at the same time.
Like, you're not taking that.
Just imagine parsing body cam footage before it gets posted to the internet. Just imagine that. Just like imagine parsing it, just live reacting to it. That would be, we would get TOS so fast. At least one person's gonna run naked across the screen. I'd have to have it on a delay, and I'd have to be able to blur it, like on the drop of a hat. Holy shit! I was gonna give us a blur button, by the way. I'm like getting really close to it. I'm at the point where I might honestly give us a blur button. Cause like I know what I want to do. I know that I'm gonna do it. I just need to make like a layer that occurs below everything else. And just blur anything beneath it. That's not that hard. I can do that in OBS pretty easy squeeze lemon peasy. Easy squeeze lemon, easy squeezy. Easy squeezy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Oh my gosh.
That doesn't give somebody an excuse to put their hands on somebody else.
No, but I was
behind them and wanted to get over and get in her face. And it
Let me actually timestamp this like 10 days late and I'll try to fix it in maybe. Let me give you the link. Let me remind us that we're watching this to be critical, yes, but we still love everyone. There's not a person in this fucking world who we don't believe the best, that we don't believe deserves the best, and don't believe can provide the best. We think everyone is outstanding. Okay, cool. Except me, I suck. I suck so much shit. I'm the worst in the fucking world. I'm so fucking lame. I suck so much. I'm not good at shit. Everything I do and think is garbage. I'm just trash. I'm just a fucking garbage person. I don't like myself. Did I mention that? But I can actually assess my mind and assess myself because I'm not making it. I can make pretend in that too if I really. That's not. You can make pretend about yourself too. To be fair, don't think you can't. But I'm probably more qualified to assess myself, and much like you are more qualified to assess yourself than any of us are qualified to assess or play pretend with someone else's mind or body. Right?
Yeah. If somebody comes up nose to nose with you and starts screaming at you, what do? Basically, my response was to push her away.
Okay. Just hang tight. Who's the other person?
It's
you?
I'm retired law enforcement. She's a former retired.
Oh, okay.
And and she's real level-headed.
Okay.
Her back was turned to
Person.
You? I'm retired.
If my back is turned, don't presume I'm not watching and listening everything. Like, my peripheral vision is a motherfucker, and when I wear sunglasses, it lets me, like, I will look for the reflection in the back, like, again, I'm a traumatized as fuck person from a lot of people doing violence against my body, jumping me, beating me, putting fucking weapons to me. I know how to keep my shit fucking good. I know how to stay alive and get home. I'm just saying. And ossifers usually compliment my situational awareness. Like, that is the one resounding compliment I get from every member of law enforcement. Oh my gosh. It's like, you're paying attention to everything in your environment. No one does that. We like that. Yeah, I fucking look at everything, bitch. Duh. I literally want to I literally just want to get back home alive. Literally, that's it.
Oh, okay.
And she's real level-headed.
Okay.
Her back was turned talking to me back here, so you didn't even see when she stepped up.
Ma'am.
See? Here's the thing, right? Here's where we're going to pause it for a second and dissect something. You can't be sure what people were identifying at that point. You can't be positive what they were privy to. You can say their back was turned, but you can't, like, and it's totally understandable. This is why I keep saying it's okay when people are scared or in pain that they over-report what's going on. That is okay. The alternative is they minimize it and under-report it. Where do we see that happen the most? In victims of abuse. So this person was assaulted and they're able to, like, you know, try to advocate for themselves. That's not fucking easy. Respect. They raise their voice once because they feel minimized. Yeah, no, I wouldn't like that either. If I felt unheard, like my voice was being silenced by someone, like someone was fucking posing on their, like, credentials on my shit, I'd feel like I would raise my voice. You would see me catch a fucking sadness. So I can understand that. I can vibe with that.
Ma'am, please stop, okay? Just hang tight here. We're going to talk to the other person and figure out what's going on. No, you cannot.
I just want to fucking sit next to them and give them my water and my snacks and offer them a hug and my hoodie. Holy shit. Oh my gosh, they deserve better than that fucking tear. They deserve better than tears and no one supporting them. And everyone who's standing there with them holding a sign, someone needs to walk the fuck over there and pay this person the fucking mind and time to make sure they're fucking okay. Someone check in with this motherfucker, please. Holy shit. Officer on the side, go check on them. Fucking fuck my guy.
Just stay here, okay?
Bitch, fucking someone, please.
Let me talk to her. She admitted she put her hand on her chin.
I'm sorry, you do not let me. There's a person in distress, and none of you bitches have the fucking couth, but you have the abundance of audacity to rattle off and prattle at the goddamn mouth, but not a fucking one of you had the fucking kindness, couth, composure, or collected fucking thought to go and sit next to this motherfucker in goddamn tears? Y'all are fucking tripping. I hate this shit already. Fuck this. Hold up. We're getting through this. Initiate upsetty spaghetti watch. It's different than hate watching. It's upsetty spaghetti watching. One of y'all bitches better go the fuck over there and check on that motherfucker. Or write a letter to all your fucking officers. Fuck it. Tell on everybody. Fucking pay this person attention. Make sure they're fine. Help them. God damn it. They're crying on the fucking ground. What the fuck are y'all doing?
About she approached her.
Y'all are fucking up.
She approached her.
Y'all are fucking up.
Asked her, why are you voting for Trump?
I'm counting the seconds. Every fucking second I count where no one motherfucker had the fucking kindness, couth, composure, or collection to go and check on the sobbing person who is crying on a goddamn traffic light. If no one gets the fuck over there and takes care of their ass, I will be full of indignation. Oh, I do not like that. Go help the person in fucking tears. It doesn't take shit. Literally, it doesn't take shit. They're a person, they're crying. What do you gotta do? Sit your ass down in the fucking hot sun. You're already standing in the shit, motherfucker. Go sit down in it, bitch. Fuck, it takes nothing.
Do you know what that means? She's initiated it.
Can you step back?
I'm listening to what
I need you to step back.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a reason the officer scratch and sniff over to the side isn't fucking calming and soothing the crying person. They're running security. Okay, one of the Trump signs is on the ground. If that person is over there, I'll stop bitching. Someone better be over there. The sign's on the ground now. If that other motherfucker is there, I stop my bitching here.
This lady's not associated.
I will be pissy until someone shows emotional support to the person who was assaulted and is crying.
But she thinks that she's senile and she's getting upset because I'm not taking that into consideration. But that doesn't give you an excuse to put your hands on her.
We kind of think it was a setup. The lady came up to us crying and told us about her abortion story.
The old lady?
No, the young
girl
one,
with
red hair.
Okay.
She came up from the backside and started accusing her of being a person of color and should not be supporting Trump.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna just also take a moment to stand on this shit with my fucking chest out. Both my tatas on screen. Both my tits on screen, chest out. Colorism and racialism is unhelpful, does not help in a constructive way, is detrimental to us, has a deleterious impact that compounds over time, and robs us of our fucking hope of fucking growing. Also, beyond that, it greatly upsets me and my delicate sensibilities. If anyone ever asks you or even says that I am a person of X and Y, just tell them I'm a motherfucking person. That's what I do. Like, people ask me, what do I believe in? What's my faith? Where am I from? Who fucked to make me? Where are my parents from? Where am I from? What fucking ethno bullshit am I? I'ma just shoot back with, I'm a person. Because first off, your land claims don't respect my ancestry, and secondly, I don't give a shit. I'm a motherfucking person like your ass. What the fuck do you want?
And I mean, she stepped in the face.
Run that back a second.
Her of being a person of color and should not be supporting Trump. And I mean, she stepped in the face. She came to get me, and she actually stepped up on the podium and grabbed me. I turned around to acknowledge her. And that lady was right up on us.
So she got up in your guys' face.
Yes.
I'm okay with their mastering.
Yes, she did.
It's directional. I like it.
Okay, I'll talk.
I gave us stereo audio because I forgot to at first and was mixing us to mono. And my mic is mono, but that doesn't matter. You're fucking... I'll give your great-great-great-great-great-granddaddy mono. You give me shit, bitch. I don't fucking care. Watch me.
So she came up to me and she read my shirt and she said, you know that God doesn't like guns. And I said, well, you know, I'm not voting for...
I mean, I'm gonna be fucking real here. I don't believe in a God. And I'm gonna be also real here. Like, I don't think that if there were an omnipotent thing-dinger, a sky daddy, a zaddy, Zeus, Baphomet, anything, I highly doubt they would be giving a fuck about the particular implement and would more care about what you're doing with it, right? Like, I seem to think that, like, in my headcanon, a god wouldn't give a fuck about the gun. A god would give a fuck about what you do with it, maybe? I feel like that's, like, I don't believe in shit, by the way, because I don't want to waste my time on trash. Anyways.
my pastor, and then she says, and you should know better.
Did she, like, get up in your face?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how close
okay,
was
so she was right there,
Okay.
and then she said, you should know better. I said, why? Because I'm my skin color? I said, you're a racist. And then she came up and she pushed me.
Okay.
And then she...
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna chime in here and say, it's racialism. We don't have enough information to decide if it's racism, but we can definitely say it's racialism. That's my take here, and I'm sticking to it.
She hit me in my freaking chin.
And also, why is racialism and colorism an eternal L and a blight on my fucking planet, which I enjoy otherwise? Because it's deleterious, it compounds over time, it divorces us from the ability to see each other for what we truly are, just a bunch of motherfuckers barely fucking making it, doing the best we fucking can. Oh, also, did I mention, not to be a snarky bitch, but I also don't like it. Also, I really dislike racialism and colorism and the ethnocentric worldview. But why do I dislike it? I'm an informed bitch and I read a lot of goddamn books. And so far, the literature indicates that it is deleterious, has a compounding effect on our society, degrades it from the fucking inside, and it's nasty to me. The nasty part, again, is from me. I added the nasty. Racialism and racism are not the same thing. Racism is different than racialism. Racialism is the worldview in which you cannot see things outside of the auspice of race. Racism is a means of executing upon a worldview which essentializes race, right? There's a difference there, honey. One essentializes it, and the other one is just how people look. My grandmother, for instance, here's a quick little difference. She can think that she loves everyone equally, but be specific. Which dictionary? Where did you search? What did you do? Be specific. What dictionary? Cite your material, bitch. Holy fuck.
Like closed fist, open fist. Like closed fist. I mean, she obviously didn't hurt me, but it's like, you know what? You have the freedom of speech. You can say whatever you want. You can't touch me. I mean, you cannot touch me. Right. She pushed me, and then she hit my chin. She wasn't done with push, so she thought she could hit my chin because of her age, maybe. And I'm not gonna do anything to anybody. You know, but
did she seem like she wanted to hurt you?
Oh,
like
yeah.
It wasn't aggressive.
No, it wasn't like an aggressive, but she just punched me at my chin. She can't really throw back too hard. She is older, but it's like
still you can't put your hands on.
Well, she demonstrated on me and she punched me in the chin. I had to.
We're taking a moment. You brought it up. We're taking a moment. Hold on. Time stamping it. Not chapter marking it, but like, you know, hi, if you're watching the VOD, links in a timestamp. There you go. If you're here with me, links in chat. There you go. Too many people and any distinction between racist and racialist may be a little, too many and distinction between racist and racialist may be a little academic. However, the differences are important. Race is used to denote any group of people united by common descent and identified by skin color and physiognomy. Common bonds are also usually expressed in terms. I have gooner physiognomy. JK. But no, for real though. Common bonds are also usually expressed in terms of shared language, history, culture, or outlook. In the 19th century, race became a social scientific tool to explain not only the diverse characteristics and types, but also levels of development. It became a universal tool for categorization, but also the key to understand customs and behavior. Racialism was thus a term used to describe the differences between races. Racism, by contrast, is a belief that some races are inherently superior. The accentuation of racialism, by the way, I said that part. There you go. And that others are inferior, and that those, therefore, require different treatment. Stereotyping and temperamental qualities, intelligence, capacity for work, and the ability to create a valuable culture typically follow. Explanations for racism may vary from economic needs to find and harness an underclass of slave laborers to satires explanations that racism was sexually motivated. Satyr's explanation that racism was sexually motivated by fear that another race would take its women. I gave you this right. We'll come back to this soon. Vess, can I be really clear about something? I do not give a flying fuck about the common parlance of a word. I do not care about the common tongue. I try to stick by accuracy. That's why I might be steeped in the, writings of aged academics for this one. but genuinely, like, I understand the common tongue in that such. I love to learn it. I love to be apprised of what people be doing. But do I actually give a flying fuck about, so do I give a fuck about, why is this better done with an example? Hold on. I don't want to misspeak either, so I'm seeing if I can find like a graphic for you. Close enough. I don't want to misspeak. Let's go with source. The difference between vernacular and colloquial. Vernacular is closer to jargon. Colloquialism is a thing that you do as people independently of the codified language, which is vernacular. Let's check. The vernacular refers to the native language of a person or persons that has established norms. Perfect. Accuracy from this bitch. Told you I got that. A colloquialism refers to informal way of speaking. Typically, a colloquialism exists within a vernacular because, again, we have our vernacular, which is the, like, you and I, motherfucker, which is the codified English language, and we have colloquialisms like gimpy and goober and nerd. Well, that one's like, okay, sorry. We have gimpy, we have based, we have what else do we have for colloquialisms? Because colloquialisms are not vernacular. Like, based as an asset of vernacular might refer to the perceived level of, or sorry, how willing something is to donate a hydrogen bond, right? Or hydrogen to something, gauging acidity or basis, or how base or acidic something might be. A colloquialism is the societally codified belief that that word could be used in a certain capacity, right? So a type of informal word used for the fastest speech. Gonna instead of going to is what the example says. Wanna instead of want to. Kid instead of children. Coke instead of Coca-Cola. They're understood by people. When you fucking equate, when you use the word that you are using, you are steeping it in colloquialism, and you are referencing a dictionary that is also providing to you colloquialism and vernacular, and you need to be able to differentiate these two. They are different and they do fucking matter.
Does she actually make contact with you?
Racialism is a world. Racialism and racism are not the same. Racism does essentialize it, but racialism, to an extent, does levy it to make assessments about people, right? Neither are helpful, and we know that now. The people who, the dead people who wrote the fucking old books in the 19th century, they're dead. We miss them because they're people, we love them because they're our cohorts. However, we don't cry over or long for the dead because it's inappropriate to wish those who have finally escaped our very petty bullshit to be damned by being drugged back into it when they've finally gotten whatever the fuck they got to. Anywho, I just don't find it appropriate to worship the dead in a way in which we start to, like, trying to, like, claw them back or something. That seems, like, really inappropriate. That's how I process grief. Anywho, it's why I can, like, celebrate my mom's life and be like, I love her, she's so lovely.
Yes, she did. She punched me.
So she punched both of you. I didn't know that.
I just said she was demonstrating. She goes, "This is what I did." And
and then after,
and I grabbed her hand.
Okay, may I approach you?
Yeah, so you can talk to me.
Okay.
We don't need to be that close, but...
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you can't hear anything. I can't hear anything.
Oh.
I'm 82 years old.
Understood.
Okay. No.
Yell
what
more,
it
Oscar.
is, yeah, the one gal pointed out, I probably said the wrong thing. I approached her.
I mean, honestly, they should sit next to each other. Okay, also, I'm looking at the screen. I'm gonna move my camera really quick. I was gonna say, you know how I was really bitchy that no one has been supporting the person who is reporting that they were assaulted, memory serves? I am still very fervently upsetty spaghetti that there is a crying person that no one is yielding emotional support to. I find that wickedly inappropriate. Because why? First off, if they're up to some shady shit, they're gonna rat on themselves. They're in a good place to. I was not showing you the screen, was I? I don't remember. Anywho's, there's this over here. This person's been crying in the background. Why do I think they should be given support right now? 2 reasons. First off, if they're doing shady shit, they'll rat on themselves. Secondly, You're supposed to support people when they fucking cry. You're supposed to support people when they live and they breathe. You're damn sure supposed to go there when they fucking cry.
And I said, well, I want to know why you're voting for Trump. That's the only reason I wanted to know. That's the only thing.
But when you use racialism as your criteria for who you select to ask that question. Oh, by the way, Vess, do look up, like, when you give a definition, like, be cautious, because the Oxford English Dictionary also has. Oh, let me get it. Okay, here's my example. Okay, hold on, loading. Wait, where is it? There we go. My example. The Oxford English Dictionary does also contain colloquialisms. I have to log in for this, bitch. I don't give a fuck. Get the fuck out. Adorkable. Access is completed. Go fuck yourself. Adorkable got processed. Oh, Oxford learners? Adorkable. Okay, adjective informal. Make sure you're checking for the formal and informal. Informal. Okay. I mean, I gotta talk shit to Vest really quick. Hold on. Talking shit. Can't help it. Anywho's. I'm reading something. You're waiting with me. Do I have the... So here's the thing, Honey Bunny, McFunny Runnies. The Oxford English Dictionary does occasionally really do some unhelpful shit. With love in my fucking heart. They fucking do. There you go. I do worry because you brought up something that I'm still trying to disprove because you brought up something that I believe is inaccurate. I don't even know if you're back. Ends in 20 seconds. Give me a sec. I'm gonna keep myself busy bored for 20 seconds. Let's see. What do my tabs have in store? Do I not have the other tab? Bitch. Oh no, I don't. Oh, I do have it. It's right there. Okay, got it. Wait for it. Okay, cool. Vess, Vess. I do worry because it is important. You know? It's like when I say something, I'm not just saying it because it's fun to say. I'm usually not gonna waste my goddamn time running my motherfucking gums and wasting my fucking precious breath on bullshit that I don't give a fuck about. Point being. So I was saying it because I do care. And referencing OED, or sorry, in this place, Cambridge, because I had to pay for OED. I don't give a shit. Cambridge has a habit of at least listing when it's informal, but your dictionaries can also list. Your dictionaries will also list, in conjunction with codified vernacular, they will also list colloquialisms. And you need to be able to differentiate the two when you're talking about the meaning of words. And I'm saying this because it is actually important and needs to not be just blasé hand-waved. Vess, I wouldn't be saying this if it weren't fucking important. I'm saying this because I need you to hear it. Okay? Okay, cool.
And I said, because you're brown skin. I mean, I know that that's what's going to happen to people in this country. And I have.
Okay, but again, if you can't articulate your analysis without escaping the bounds and binds of dualism and racialism, you will never grow beyond it, and you will not inspire others nor indignify yourselves in a way with them that lets them see that you cannot present logic. If you cannot present your logic without pinning it on racialism, how is anyone to look to you aspirantly of what they can grow to? If the whole circular thing is just going back to hinging it on the racial ethno worldview, you cannot break from it if you enable it. I'm sorry, I don't think it's appropriate for anyone, regardless of their perceived race or ethnicity, to say slurs. Okay, we're good here? We're good here. Okay, cool. What's that mean? You notice I don't like slurs, right? You'll notice that I stand on my shit when people use a slur or disparaging remarks against Romani folks or Jewish folks. I talk shit and I'd say no. When people use other slurs, I say no. When people use ableist slurs, I say no. Like, it doesn't matter if I'm included or excluded, it's that it doesn't take much to see that it's harmful and it's not helpful. And if people can't feel their analysis divorced of such fucking underpinnings that they fucking now hinge every word they say on invoking that very same thing, that is why I say I don't give a fuck if you say you're on my fucking side or on my team or have my back. If you do that shit, you're against me in every way I consider meaningful. I don't trust people who say trust them, but then do that shit. I don't give a fuck. If you say that because someone is a particular skin color, that they can or cannot do a specific thing, you may leave. I do not need you. I do not want you. I do not like having my time wasted by your presence. I don't fucking care. I don't want you in my fucking presence. I don't give a fuck. Go. You're fucking worthless to me. To me, not in general, just to me. You're worthless to me as an individual because you literally produce nothing for me of worth if you pin everything on racialism and colorism for analysis. Ever. With love and fucking respect. That's why I never talked to my grandmother. Except to tell her when she was fucking up by doing it. I would point out when she was doing it. I'd point out when she was being prejudiced against folks from Asia. Outside of that, I wouldn't talk to her for shit. Because what the fuck's she gonna do? Irritate me by invoking more racialism and colorism? I'd rather not waste my goddamn heartbeat on high blood pressure that would be invoked by having to spend 5 fucking seconds telling someone they're fucking up. I'll tell them they're fucking up, but like, it is not my fucking prime. I don't like doing it. I don't want to waste my time with bitches that can't look outside the fucking frame of reference of racialism and colorism. That is not my fucking jam. I do not care for that behavior. I do not want to waste my time on people who waste their time doing shit like that.
I was a teacher. I hate the racism in this country.
Again, you can hate it all you want, but when your analyses can't divorce itself from the underpinnings of deferring to racialism and colorism to make your analyses and arguments, that's pathetic, cousin. That was a choice you made. I don't like that choice. You can make other choices. Maybe I'll like your other choices, but I damn sure as fuck don't like that one. God damn it.
How people are treated. Okay? And so I'm wondering, why would somebody with brown skin support this man? And that was my question. And she immediately started screaming racist and came in with her face right up to me, just screaming at the top of her voice.
Now, am I gonna give someone shit for saying racism when I think that the more appropriate way to address it is racialism? No, not necessarily. I'll speak to them about it like I did to you, but like generally, like words matter. I can point to why I used that one. I can also say, don't just reference the dictionary like it's the end-all be-all, because that also incorporates non-formal fucking phrases. I don't know if you know this, adorkable is a word that literally, I remember the campaign to get this in the dictionary, okay? Do you know how we got this in the dictionary? My class, you know how like not just my class, but like, you know, people who gave a fuck in a similar fucking vein, not only our peeps, but like everybody's peeps rallied together. I just did my goddamn part. We kept it consistent. We used the word repeatedly for the same consistent meaning, and we spread to the fucking world. We walked outside, touched motherfuck balls, outside pavement, not grass, because I'm allergic to it. And we just kept using adorkable in parlance with everyone. And we'd tell people about it. And one day, the Oxford English Dictionary, and then later Cambridge, picked up adorkable. My point being, dictionaries are a product of the people. They aren't entirely codified in fucking only representing the vernacular. They also represent colloquialisms. Do I feel anything or any which way to this person for how they referred to it? No. Like I said, it's important for people who are in pain and afraid to be able to over-report shit or under-report it and still be served accordingly. You know? New words happen, but there is a difference between vests, and don't make me just staple this to you. New words don't just happen, there's actually a fucking process, and I'm trying to talk to you about how to articulate that in a fucking meaningful fucking way, McFun Run, right? And I'm trying to say that you're being a little bit fucking, closed-minded to the understanding that your ignorance is blinding you to this one, McFun Run. Okay? This is one of ignorance. We don't know something, and we must learn it. I am ignorant every day that I breathe, and I breathe into myself new knowledge to dispel the ignorance. No one is that word. Also, Ves. Have the couth to not just leave because you feel like you're upsetty spaghetti. Okay? Good job.
And my response was to push her away, and I put my hand to her chin, and I pushed on her shoulder. And
it's
it
not
wasn't
appropriate.
But I did do
still
that.
Touched, okay.
I did do that.
Okay. So definitely, this doesn't...
See,
yeah, I deleted your message because it's not appropriate.
What it is...
It doesn't... So... I get
Vestier, watch your words. Use a tone indicator if you're being kidding. If you're being kidding, but you're not being clear about it, I will just turn the stream off, leave, and not talk to anybody, you or anybody, until I feel like it, bro. So I'm being fucking clear with you. Maybe don't JK me. Maybe don't leave because you feel like you can't JK. Maybe just sit there and listen to how someone feels when they feel like they've been underserved and learn how to deal with it instead of run away about it and then continue to do the same shit every goddamn day, you know?
Cool. Everyone has their point of views.
Oh, I realize that. But listen, I don't go with that any longer. When we have and racism becoming the predominant thing,
I believe in you.
Turning people against each other, that to me is criminal. And somebody...
I mean... Yeah, the evocation of racialism and colorism doesn't necessarily on its own turn people against each other, but it's not helpful to our human condition at all. The turning against each other happens through the racism itself does the turning against. The racialism itself gets levied for a lot of unproductive means, and I'm just going to consistently bitch about it because I don't really see space for it. Doesn't need to be there.
He has to stand up. I'm an 82-year-old retired teacher of 43 years. What else can I do? Nobody listens.
Well, I mean, currently people only use it to sow misinformation and to harm others. So maybe if you show me someone using it in a way that doesn't accelerate to that, that's why I left the fucking opening there for you. But currently, I have not seen shit to indicate that.
I'm just an old lady.
That's why you vote, and we do the democratic process. That is what it's here for.
I mean, also, you're not supposed to do racialism because memory serves. Like, a man who had a dream got shot, so maybe you would stop looking at each other for skin-deep bullshit. And that man with a dream got murked for that. And I don't know. I don't want to be disrespectful to dudes who got fucking capped trying to ask people to not hurt each other, right? Because I also like when people do not cause harm.
It's a democratic process, gerrymandering and purging the rolls,
it goes all
and
sides.
Intimidating people at the polls. I mean, this is the party we're up against, and it's criminal.
Yeah,
and I've been following
both
the news.
sides go both ways. Politics is one of those things that it's a short fuse for everyone.
Yeah.
Unless you're me, in which case, the only short fuse I'll have is pedantics, regardless of what the venue is in. Accuracy of our words, accuracy of our assessments, and the accuracy of our ability to execute upon them.
Growing up, you never talked about race, religion, politics, and/or money.
That's bullshit.
You didn't.
That was.
Okay, never talked about race. That is a short.
I've been following
both
the news.
sides go both ways. Politics is one of those things that it's a short fuse for everyone.
Yeah.
Growing up, you never talked about race, religion, politics, and/or.
Yeah, no, that's bullshit. Growing up, I talked about all these things. I'm not a person of faith. I still sat down with like kind Catholic priests. And the reason I got to a place of just like taking a giant, massive shit on all Abrahamic faiths from an articulate perspective is because I asked more questions than I answered. For let's call it, let's say for 2/3 of my life, let's say for more than two, let's say I've spent the entirety of my life just asking questions to this point. And now, in the last 3, 5 years, will I be so pointed as to articulate precisely my concerns to the point of saying it's unexcusable. Point being, I didn't get to the point of having like an occasionally reasonable take by thinking I had an occasionally reasonable take. I got there by assuming that I don't know shit, that I know nothing, that I'm fucking worthless, that my life and space and presence is a waste of time. Thought that I could never be useful unless I learned, so I shut up and I listened. For 30 plus fucking years, for 30 fucking years plus, I shut up and I listened to everyone willing to spare me a bit of their life experience so I didn't have to go and risk death to learn the lesson that they already learned.
More money?
That's bullshit. That was...
Okay.
Only because I did that do I think I have an occasional appropriate take here and there. Sometimes, just a little bit. Sometimes.
I'll tell you why that's bullshit.
It's not. I grew up, I remember my grandparents, and yes, it was.
I remember my grandparents, like, they actually, like, my grandmother would talk about literally, like, my grandmother did grow up in the civil rights era, by the way. So she would directly talk to me about times where she was pulled over in her car by the Ku Klux Klan and threatened with her life. You know, so, like, we talked about these things, but in a responsible way. And then she would invoke racialism against folks from Asia, and I would immediately shut her down and tell her that she's being a garbage actor or making terrible choices or it's inappropriate. Or there are more appropriate ways to articulate what she's trying to get at, and she needs to do so before she continues to instill misinformation and generalizations about people and groups of people. You know? Articulate what you fucking want. Use your fucking words. They matter accurately. But no, I don't like that generalization of the officers levying either, because it's untrue. No, that's not a thing that everyone learns. That might be a thing that you did, but like, hell no. We talked about underserved people. My family, like half of the people my family had and made food for. Like when it was holidays, my mom and I, we didn't celebrate holidays, right? We had off on holidays. So she and I would cook food, and we'd cook food for doctors, lawyers, people who worked in waste pickup. We'd cook and feed people who worked in water maintenance. We just cook and feed people who worked in laboratories. Like I had a fucking like mentor from NASA, and like my grandmother made friends with an executive at a large company. We would just like talk with people about shit. It didn't matter. We didn't care about like, you know, I would literally talk about fecal coliform bacteria and its distribution. Like, and I would also talk about like feces with doctors, and I would talk about, you know, policy with executives. I would talk about policy and legislation with lawyers and judges. And meanwhile, me being the kid I just talk about all this with everybody. I just didn't give a shit. Cause like you brought it up with one group, unless it was private or privy information to like the particular people bringing it was a general thing that wasn't like withheld or like that, I could bring it up to everyone, so I would. The officer has likely spent time in a house that silences them and does not allow them to speak about these things unless they've considered it normal, because they've been habituated to that, likely since they were 4 or before, and have had it constantly reinforced in their life by the people that say they love them. And that's not to, you know, take away their agency in this, but I find it very strange to make the blanket generalization that people don't talk about. Let's go and get that quote, shall we?
And or money. You know, growing up, you never talk about race, religion, politics, and or money.
Because we talked about money, because my mom and my dad would talk about their salaries openly. I remember my dad being very upset that my mom made more. He was really upset when I made more than him. He was very pissed off. Religion, we talked about it. My grandmother was a Christian person. I was faithless. My mom was finding out what worked for her. I'm not going to get into her beliefs, but like I'm going to say, it was not Abrahamic. It was not cut and dry and Abrahamic, right? So I had a Christian person. I went to a Catholic school. I was like hanging out around very in-depth analyses of like, culture in the world around us. That was the dinner table. That's how I lived every fucking day, and I learned to be respectful to people in that. I think you do need to talk about these things and learn to do so responsibly and respectably. I think people who teach their children not to talk about those things and instead teach them to hide it don't serve them. I think they actually act against them. They don't provide them with the fucking coping skills to have cogent and reasonable conversation about these things with a wider populace. They instead placate themselves and condition their children into having select dialogues with them. It is an affect of control that leads people there. It is not one of kindness and education for your children. So that's my stance on that. If you don't talk about those things with your kids, I think you're robbing them of a chance to learn how to grow in responsible and appropriate ways, to have these dialogues in safe and appropriate ways, and to treat people kind of like, you see how I can talk about these things and not like be a shit biscuit? Because I grew up in a nicely integrated area. I was educated by the people around me as well as the school system. I had a well-funded school system that was able to bring me supplies, not able to like facilitate my IEP needs all the time, but damn, they tried. Like, honestly, you get here by talking. Like, if you want to do what I do and just sit here smiling, you're going to have to spend 30 plus years of your life doing this shit. Maybe that's a generalization, but I've spent 30 plus years trying to be kind, mindful, patient, compassionate, and just listen to people tell me shit so I don't have to guess.
Ways. But politics is one of those things that it's a short fuse for everyone.
Yeah.
Growing up, you never talk about race, religion.
I just can't believe I'm stuck on the officer thinking that this is normal. Because it's not like they're unreasonable for that thought. I can just like assess how one might get there. And I don't find it appropriate that they were put through that and then that they're parroting it. I don't find them, I find them to be underserved when you hear them parrot it. But that's all. I still find them to be a person deserving of the kindest things in the world, like the rest of us. But moreover, I also see how it's unproductive to have such a limiting auspice of when your fucking considerations.
Politics and or money.
That's bullshit. That was, excuse me, I'll tell you why that's bullshit.
It's not. I grew up, I remember my grandpa.
Okay, let me tell you why that's bullshit. Linda, shut the fuck up for a minute. It's bullshit because that's your learned experience from your purview. That's the thing that you as an independent person was brought into. And as I just said, likely selfish conditioning by those around you for control, not necessarily for that of growth for you as a person.
Parents, and yes, it was predominant. You didn't speak about that.
I've never heard of that until I was a grown adult, and I heard other grown adults say that, and I've taken extreme exception. I take a large amount of objection to this, rather, and to the point where I will talk about it with them like I talk about it with you. I will show them that there's an appropriate way, and I will talk to them about the same shit I told you, about why it's important, why I was brought up that way, how it's impactful for me, what I would change. I can't remember right now, honestly. Ask me in like 10 minutes. But like, if in any condition you want your child to be able to succeed in the world and in a way in which I am able to succeed in the world, and by the way, you might want that for them. Yeah, being able to responsibly have difficult conversations with patience, kindness, mindfulness, and consideration of others is actually remarkably important. Else you end up with underserved peoples who think it's appropriate to throw fists, generalize, demean, denigrate, and dehumanize others. They didn't learn appropriate skills. They still can, but it's harder to pick it back up when it's not in practice. So my point being, practice it all the time. Don't sit it down.
I grew up with that
Love
too,
yourself.
But I'll tell you what, after watching 10 years since I retired from the teaching.
Again, I have not spent a single goddamn day not talking about that shit. At home, at the dinner table. Because no one was if someone new came in and was aggressive about it, I remember this. It was the Bush presidency era, and some people were being hyphy. And you still got to take it back to policy and practical shit, right? You have to de-escalate. If you do not de-escalate the underserved, you are contributing to the further underserving of the underserved. That is not appropriate. You do not give people ineffective tools that don't help them. You don't give people a lack of resources that leads them in a place where they think it appropriate to hit people, to humanize, denigrate, or even demonize or vilify others. If you didn't give them appropriate coping tools, and you only give them that because it's all you as an adult do around them, I don't like you. I don't like you right now. I don't not love you, but I don't like your choices.
I have spent 10 years watching every speech of Trump's, every speech of Vance's, every speech of...
I've spent, like, years just, like, caring about C-SPAN and policy, bitch. And I don't pop off like that. I don't hit people. That's the thing.
Of Harris and...
Also, I think if you care about, like, policy in general, you care about how, like, how addressing the assault situation in the States has been there's been multiple attempts at remediation, ramification. So, like, now, here's a policy thing that you can know from a nonpartisan perspective, right? People punching each other, that's prosecuted by the state. Why? Assaults are. Why? In some places. Not everywhere, but why? Because we don't trust people. Again, I keep talking about how people who are aggressed oftentimes underreport, and how people who are aggressive, when you're in pain, you might over or underreport. When you're, like, a lot of people who are abused, underreport their experiences. A lot of people who are aggressors of abuse or the initiators of abuse underreport their participation or minimize it.
Biden, the whole thing.
Yep.
I've been taking copious notes and analyzing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the copious notes that I've taken is that in some provinces, prefectures, states, etc., and locales, the 5-0 will just, like, if you hit somebody, they'll just arrest you. They don't need you to press charges. They can't get you out of it. They'll just take you away, bitch. And I fucking love it. I think that's amazing. If I could get in a time machine and rat on my dad, I fucking would. Bitch, get fucked.
And my response is, we are really endangered right now.
Okay.
We are always in danger.
And
always.
And I don't...
I understand what their analysis is, by the way.
I don't understand why people don't...
See, I'm a person who can understand the analyses of people who are talking to me, regardless of their perspective, and just sit there and listen and try to be, like, not too much of a dickhead whilst also being a dickhead.
Don't understand that.
Ain't that hard?
I never can approach a Republican and ask them. I mean, I have a brother who says, here, let me finish that.
The issue is the essentialism of fucking racialism and colorism in your fucking analyses and decisions to select people to harass.
I have a brother who's a Republican, and he has a stockpile of 100 guns, and he said his role is God can't save us all, so his job is to help God.
Okay.
I mean, this is insanity.
But how does
God's not real, bro. If God were real, I would have fucking... Hey, Twitch, you can't ban me for talking about video games or fictional characters. Bitch, if God was real, I would have killed the motherfucker by now. You fucking think I'm kidding? God damn it. Bitch, the fuck? Hell no. First off, God's dead, because if God wasn't, we would have all stressed this poor motherfucker out so much right now, they would be having heart attack number 7,432. Their blood pressure would be so motherfuck balls high, they would just be in the fucking hospital constantly. There is no God. God has never been alive to be dead. If there is a state of which we wish to quantify the existence of such a thing, relegating it to the domain in which RNA inhabits seems appropriate to where it's not living or dead. Outside of that, if God were a living thing, y'all bitches would have given motherfucker a heart attack by now. You live with that. I don't have to.
If that's your stance, how does it look that you're placing hand?
Bitch, I don't even fucking pray. I don't put anything on that motherfucker. So I'm just saying. God isn't real, but if God were, everyone who isn't me and does pray would have given motherfucker a heart attack by now from all the fucking increase in goddamn blood pressure. Fuck, bro.
Hands onto someone else with different views. It doesn't support your.
It's anger.
side.
It's
Yes.
anger. It's anger.
So, and that's the key. Is it doesn't. All this entails doesn't give you the right to put your hands on
No,
somebody.
you're right. I agree with you. I agree with you.
So we're here for an investigation.
Okay.
And then from there we will, decide
You can jail me if you want to. I don't care.
Yeah, but she's still, and it was pretty forceful.
Yeah, it was forceful.
Again, can we please stop the political violence? It's actually really fucking frightening when people start throwing hands on this shit. Charles Summer and Preston Brooks, gold-headed cane in hand, South Carolina Representative Peterson Brooks approaches. And can I do dark mode on this? God damn it! I don't care anymore. I'll do a dark mode plugin for the browser later. Hold on. Give me a minute. Explanation of how I was about to get it too. Regional differences. Gold-headed motherfucker in hand says no. 2 days since Charles Sumner. Wait. 2 days after Sumner's inflammatory speech on the Senate floor had seemed like a lifetime, even moments earlier, Brooks delayed his actions when he noticed a woman in the Senate chamber. He could hardly carry out his mission to avenge his kin and his region in the presence of a woman. A woman. It would violate the code of honor by which he lived as a Southern gentleman. When the woman finished the conversation and left, Brooks waited another moment, his eyes borging into the abolitionist Sumner, whom Brooks viewed as one of the most dangerous threats to the future of the South. Sumner from Massachusetts seemed oblivious to his presence and anything else except the speech copies he was signing, or franking for constituents. The same speech he had delivered over 5 hours between May 19th and 20th that infuriated Brooks in the first place. In the oration, which he titled "The Crime Against Kansas," Sumner had vilified Southern slaveholders for violence occurring in Kansas, insulted Brooks's home state, and hurled personal slurs against Brooks' second cousin, South Carolina Senator Andrew Butler. Brooks felt high and holy obligation to avenge the insults from Sumner had directed towards his family and his state. Anything less, and he would be humiliated as a man, a slaveholder, and a proud South Carolinian. An advocate for the Southern way of life, Brooks saw no alternative. His years of adhering to the Southern Code of Honor demanded he retaliate against Sumner. However, by beating Sumner rather than challenging him to a duel, Brooks was implying that his opponent was not a gentleman worthy of respect. Brooks reached Sumner's desk, where the senator was writing head down, unaware of his presence. Sumner's chain was drawn up close, his long legs pinned under the desk. "Mr. Sumner," Brooks began, "I've read your speech twice over carefully. It is a libel on South Carolina, and Mr. Butler, who is a relative of mine." He then raises his cane. Two essential components of Charles Sumner's character had guided his preparation for and the delivery of the controversial speech. One easily defined as virtuous, the other complex and dark. Without question, Sumner's anti-slavery convictions were admirable and resolute. He never wavered in denouncing slavery's evils, demanding it be wiped out of existence. By 1856, the abolitionists of slavery, pure and simple, the abolition of slavery, pure and simple, was the driving force of his political life. In the quest, he stood taller and firmer than anyone in America, including Abe Lincoln and William Lloyd Garrison. Yet Sumner's dark side was every bit as influential in shaping his persona, egotism, and narcissism, which I think is a slur when used inappropriately, and I'm sorry, you cannot diagnose dead people from the past. You're not their fucking doctor. You can't accuse people of being narcissistic as a slur. I'll call it out when I fucking see it. Fuck you. As we fucking were. Scrolling. Eyes are scrolling. Eyes scrolling. Eyes scrolling. Dark sides are insane. Everything's friend like he told. Let's pass it. Changing some of the question in his life. Remember the America, including Lincoln. His blood. Sorry, in his. I don't want to control F and get put to the wrong place. Fuck it. In his bold, confrontational, even incendiary speech, Sumner did not stop with a recitation of issues and possible resolutions. Recitation of issues and possible resolutions. I'm so sorry. Instead, he viciously insulted the elderly Andrew Butler, who was not present in the chamber. He was at home recovering from a stroke, and the state from which Butler hailed. He charged that Butler had Butler had chosen a mistress, in brackets so it could be replaced, who, I bet it was whom, thought ugly to others is always lovely to him. Though polluted in the sights of the world, though polluted in the sights of the world, it chaste in his sight. Sorry, that was so difficult. I mean the harlot, slavery. He turned to Butler for his state's reliance on the shameful imbecility of slavery. This is I love the document so far. I love the fucking ye olde quotes, to be fair. I don't like the bracketing of who if it's actually a whom. When he had finished, Northerners and Southerners objected strongly to Sumner's personal incentive, especially because Butler was not present to defend himself. Peterson Brooks simmered in the 36 hours following the speech, where he visited a parlor or drawing room or dinner party, in quotes. This was about the talk. The talk was all about Sumner's insults to Brooks's state and his countrymen, and what could be done in response. I felt it my duty to relieve Butler and avenge the insult to my state, he said. When Sumner looked up and saw Brooks raise his arm, he moved as if to rise, but Brooks struck him on the top of the head with the smaller end of a cane, causing an outpouring of blood that blinded Sumner. Brooks then struck Sumner again, and again, and again, and again, and again. I'm sorry, it was only 2 agains. On his head and face. With the heavy end of the cane, Sumner struggled to rise, but his legs were still pinned under his desk. After a dozen blows, I could have kept on saying and again. Shit. I could have kept on. Again and 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 again. Got it. Did they say 1 dozen or 2 dozen? I got a baker's dozen out of here. And again. Down blows on Sumner's head. Every lick went where I intended, Brooks recalled later. As he pounded Sumner, Brooks's cane snapped, but he continued to strike the senator with the splintered piece. Oh, Lord, Sumner gasped. Oh. Brooks grabbed the helpless and reeling Sumner by the lapel and held him up with one hand while continuing to strike him with the other. He thrashed Sumner, delivering about 30 fast-rate stripes. First-rate stripes. There we go. Near the end of the beating, Sumner was entirely insensible, though before he succumbed, he bellowed like a calf, according to Brooks. The 2 New York representatives, bystanders in the Senate chamber, finally intervened, and the fracas went down. One cradled the fallen Sumner, who had his face covered in blood, groaning piously at first, and then went piteously at first. I'm so sorry, groaned piteously at first. I had my one lens of my glass was behind the microphone, so I had to move. I'm so sorry. Piteously at first, and went silent, as senseless as a corpse for several minutes. His head bleeding copiously, the blood saturating his clothes. Friends led Brooks to a side room. The other Southerners picked up the pieces of the splintered cane. Later, these scraps were fashioned into rings that many Southern lawmakers wore on neck change as a sign of solidarity with Brooks. Also, for clarity's sake, don't forget, the inclusion of "In God We Trust" on our currency and also referencing God in the Pledge of Allegiance would have happened as a result of image. Would have happened as a result of capitulation during the Civil War. Also.
But it's like,
Do you want to press charges?
yeah, because she cannot. That makes me nervous.
No, I agree.
You can't do that.
I just wanted to make sure.
Because what if I wasn't the whole thing, but when I saw they were getting like, she was like, you're racist.
Motherfucker has a juicy hoodie on. That shit's so sick. Respect.
She's like, oh, you're racist. And I'm like, she's standing by the edge. And then she pushed.
Again, if you actually want to have like meaningful dialogue, don't say you know people are racist, ask them about them as an individual and talk to them as a fucking person. You will never get anywhere generalizing a group of people. You will find yourself somewhere. It is on my shitty side, while I then have to not generalize people and deal with all of the fallout you gave me, and your fucking crying ass, and whoever you made cries crying ass. It's more work for me. I'll sit through it, but you will fucking learn.
And then I was like, oh my gosh. And then she said, why, don't put your hands on me. And then
I like having shit to do. Don't give me shit to do though. I'll find my own shit, right?
She's a mother of 3, right?
And a granddaughter. Well, I had,
I mean, gonna be honest here. Even if you've never met your grandparent, you still, unless you are refusing of accepting them or are literally born out of the product of human intervention and are, born effectively in, okay, presumably if you're, made of genetic material engineered in a lab off of, research and not sampling directly, and you're just grown in a sack, maybe, I guess. Honestly, that sounds way better than how I got born. Me getting born nearly killed 2 people.
didn't have self-control and actually hurt her and hit her.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah, I'm definitely I have an old scar from falling on.
Technically, it did kill 2 people. They just had to be resuscitated.
I'm going to check in with.
I did it too. I hate those damn things.
But yeah, you can't.
I mean, she admitted to me that she did do that, so.
I think they're just a little unhinged.
We've already voted. I mean, we're just,
There's no need for it.
No.
Yeah.
No need for it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to push
I mean, did you say ain't gonna? Holy shit. Are you really? I need this to be one of the places where the police are obligated to take people away when they do shit like assault.
I mean, she admitted to me that she did do that, so.
I think they're just a little unhinged.
We've already voted. I mean, we're just,
There's no need for it.
No need for it. But yeah, I'm definitely going to push.
Can I get you?
I swear to fuck, if I had a car, I would drive between the warring sides of the sidewalk, and I would take my car and a crate of bottled water that is sealed as fuck, and I would let them unseal their own goddamn water. And I just give them all I just give everybody water. I just throw some water to each of the sides of the sidewalk, and I'd be like, be okay, be safe. Hold your representatives accountable. I think that's a me move. Because I think we all win when we all learn to use our system better, and we all lose when, holy shit, why am I the one breaking the news to people that voter identification laws require in some states you to use the same signature you did when you signed up for your goddamn ID? Why am I the person breaking that to people? That's fucking wild. Why don't y'all bitches know this? And people are worried about their votes not getting counted, but meanwhile, in some states, you legally have to, if you want it counted, use the same signature you do on your goddamn ID. Or it doesn't count. And they throw it out. Why do people not know that?
Grab statements, they all saw it all.
Everybody saw it.
Statements all around. Can I talk to you for a minute?
I need to make my fucking plant-based grilled cheese soon.
Can you tell me what happened?
So I was standing across the street with that group over there,
okay,
and I saw her kind of start getting aggressive, and I saw her starting to get up to her face, and then she was kind of...
There is finally someone providing emotional, goddamn, motherfucking respect to the motherfucking person who was fucking crying all of 10 fucking minutes ago, brother. I'm just upset that they weren't providing emotional support to the fucking person who was fucking crying. What? What in the uncouthful motherfucking bullshit is it takes 10 goddamn motherfuck balls minutes for one of your fucking candied asses to mosey your fucking punk ass to the crying person to provide emotional goddamn support? How the fuck does it take 10 plus fuck balls? The person in the black hoodie standing by the ossifer between everybody, they went over there crying at minute marker number 5 at the latest, let's call it. So that's why I'm saying about 10 minutes. They've been up here on their own. They were crying from the start. They have been overwhelmed. They needed someone to support them. No one gave a fuck to check on them until we pan over here. Oh, we're here. We're talking to them. We're only supporting them because we're interviewing them. That's wild. There's at least someone talking to them when the officer progresses over, so I'm gonna take this as a fucking half a W. Does anyone need to tell the officer that they have coom jelly all over their camera and it looks greasy as a result? They got coom jelly all over their camera and it looks greasy. Look at it. Look at how it's like blurred on one of the sides of the camera. You can't see the definition in these leaves, but you can see the definition of these leaves. That's because there's snot or like grease on the camera lens, or like a smudge of snotty grease. You never know. Basically, it bends light different, so the fucking camera's like not receptor. It's a struggle.
I wish you guys would come as fast when there's problems at our houses and you're driving. And
I wish people came faster too. I want to play more fucking video games.
Everything. But I know that we don't have enough policemen in the area.
Hey Susan, do you have your ID on you by
Okay, as a bitch who's done this, I can tell you for a fact, like, you do not want to like start critiquing them when you can like levy that blasé critique before you have. Let me try to quote it with my body, right? They went from like here to like up in somebody's face like so fucking fast. Even to the officer to example it, I'm just saying, you where you live, there's so many cops and they all have so much free time. All they do is like they want to be traffic cops and hand out tickets. I don't know, tell them to go fucking learn how to go do social work. I don't fucking know, bro. Make it better. I don't know. Fucking do local elections, vote locally so they have better policies impacting them so they have more useful shit to do, I guess. Tell your fucking town they need to like train portions of them to work in fucking social work and as a double, I guess. I don't fucking know. Howdy, how you doing today? We're reacting to people doing stuff that we don't get behind. Here, don't punch people. Don't escalate from words into fists. This person has been doing stuff that I've had to like disambiguate. We've had to take apart the difference between, oh no, you think we're disambiguating racialism and racism. We were, but vernacular and colloquialism was a more important thing to address. By the way. Do you have any part tricks? What do you mean any part tricks? Have any party tricks? I mean, I'll run your data like a trick at the party.
By any chance? Yeah, I showed it to him. Okay, he's already seen it
down.
Okay, here's the thing. Maybe, but they're hidden, so you don't get to know about them.
The ID.
Did you run it via OLN?
No.
Okay.
What's that?
Your operator license number. Can I see? Do you have your ID on you? Let me just check it real quick. Thank you. Sometimes the names don't pop up because so many people are named certain things. So I'm just going to run it by your driver's license number.
Not a problem.
Perfect. Thank you.
I had an incident where at 3:30 in the morning, a man came to my door.
I don't think that's a talent. I just think that's like, tempering your body like you love it.
Can you step over? I just don't want you going in.
My point being, like, maintaining your strength, your flexibility, and your cardiovascular strength and aptitude are very important. Yes, I agree. Agree. 100%.
The traffic.
Hey, I'm not worried about it. If it happens, it happens. I appreciate the concern.
I think if anything, I just am sitting here telling people to be kind to each other and consistently pointing out when people defer to generalizations, dehumanization, denigration, and otherwise kind of showing a lack of kindness, care, and compassion for their cohorts on Terra. Anywho's, we had to take apart this earlier. Turns out that I also got to pivot into colloquialism versus vernacular. TLDR, the difference is the unification of these as a singular thing is truly one of colloquialism, not one of vernacular. And so when we look at words, we learn the value of seeing if it's vernacular or colloquialism. Because adorkable is in the dictionary too. But this word got put in the dictionary when I was a high schooler because of what we did when I was in high school. We put this word in the dictionary. We did this. We wanted this. We kept to it. It happened. It's in Oxford and Cambridge, so whatever. Point being, common parlance, the common tongue, what have you, that's colloquial. Vernacular is the set of lingua that we all exist within. Colloquialism doesn't need a language to exist, but it does help. Colloquialism, again, being like gonna instead of going to, or goober instead of silly goose, whatever. Point being, this person struck someone. We didn't see them do that part, but thank fuck, because I don't want to see violence ever. And we're just kind of sitting here being very patient with the bipartisan people and consistently reminding them that aggression isn't the way. And if you cannot make your analyses without deferring to racialism, colorism, or the ethnocentric worldview, you'll never escape it. And if you can't yield your analysis divorced of dualism, you will never escape its bounds either. There, I TLDR'd you. You're right in.
Well, then you wouldn't have.
This person, by the way, who assaulted someone, selected people because of stuff skin deep and decided it to be an appropriate idea. It is not appropriate, by the way. They selected that it was appropriate for them to punch someone because of their perception of their race. By the way, that's never appropriate. By the way, I'm the lovely bitch who will say that inclusion or to be included or precluded from saying something because of something skin deep as your tissue's tonality in any capacity, even in allowing certain people to say certain slurs because of how you think they might be, is also the continuation of the same system which I am opposed to. That's it. I think kindness and mindfulness is the way to fucking go. That's my fucking talent, okay? That's my party trick, is I care about people.
Anything to deal with.
I guess. I don't fucking know. My other party trick is that I smile a lot, and I smile a lot, and I just love everyone equally. I think that's my other party trick. Probably. I don't know.
Came to my door and
is someone finally yielding emotional support to this person in the background? They are.
3:30 in the morning.
No, I've been so salty because this person in the background, they started crying. They were privy to an assault. They started crying. I get it. They walked over to the traffic thingy on their own for 10 fucking minutes. No one gave them emotional support. And that is why I am fervently upset at this whole situation. I want to see the bipartisan people be okay, right? And I think the quickest way to that is them holding their reps accountable, regardless of whom they are or who they voted for. You, the people, are the ones that have to hold your reps accountable because they make a lot of campaign promises you'll never see brought to fruition unless you do. They made a lot of promises. They have kids. They're working a full-time job, right? They're on call 24/7. They got kids. They got shit to do. Unless you hold them accountable, someone who's more present will. And they may not be in it for the thing that you were in it for. And they'll just spend that time doing something you don't give a fuck about. So that's my nonpartisan take on all of this.
Came to my door at 3:30 in the morning.
I love y'all.
He was looking for somebody, said he came to that house. 3 times the police called me to see,
Yeah, by the way, partisanism is just being committed to a party, right?
To check whether this person lived.
My greatest joy about myself is most of my ballots all that I can remember, so I'm assuming most, are split ballots. They're just who's qualified. I don't care who you say you're aligned with. I care what the results are, because people lie, right? People misreport shit. That's okay. That's what they're supposed to do when they need help. But I've learned to be critical of it. So, generally, I like that I'm a split ballot person all the time because, there's nothing more gratifying than seeing the good in people as, for instance, there's nothing so gratifying as seeing the good in people as when you push for someone to be there. You put your vote in, right? And you're like, this person cares about something that is very important to me. And you identify those things across different, because what they can do, by the way, I say local elections a lot. I forgot to say it this time. Reason being, I care about who's elected to my transportation authority. I care who's elected to, city offices. And I care about, do we have roads that have lanes for buses so old folks can get to the doctor and the library, and kids can get to school and the doctor and the library, and old folks can go to the grocers? That's what I care about, So there you go. There's a little debrief.
This person lived at my house that this guy was looking for. 3:30 in the morning. I'm a grandmother. I'm 82 years old, and I'm living by myself. And they're going to check with me 3 times. What about
Streamer
that
shows
guy?
disrespect to Thailand.
Why is somebody out at 3:30 in the morning claiming they dropped the person off who stole their billfold, was making a sandwich for them, was going to give them some money? What's wrong with this picture?
Do I have that tab open? Let's go. Oh, it's right here. Bitch. Oh shit, I like this. Yeah, get your ass here. Thanks, bud. Mott and Bailey fallacy, named after the Mott and Bailey castle. Pretty picture of Mott and Bailey. Here is expendable, which is called the church and the people. Here is not expendable, called the keep. Let's disambiguate this. Mott and Bailey fallacy, named after the Mott and Bailey castle, is a form of argument and an informal fallacy where an arguer conflates 2 positions that share similarities. One modest and easy to defend, the Mott, and one much more controversial and difficult to defend, the Bailey. The arguer advances the controversial position, but when challenged, insists that only the more modest position is being advanced. Why do I say that? Because they're talking around the thing. They're not talking about what they do. They're talking around it. Right here?
What they do? Why is somebody out at
They were asked a question.
Check whether this person.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Came to my door at 3:30 in the morning.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
An incident where at 3:30 in the morning, a man came to my door.
Ma'am, can you step over? I just don't want you going into traffic.
Hey, I'm not worried about it. If it happens, it happens.
I am.
I appreciate the consideration. Well, then you wouldn't have anything to deal with.
Thank you so much.
Inappropriate. Inappropriate as fuck.
Thank you.
Do not go to terminate. Do not go to saying, no. Terminism like that is inappropriate. Someone needs to be noisy about this. That is inappropriate. That is coercive as you to say to a person speaking to you. Further, it is inappropriate for you to threaten that. Tertiarily. Don't do it. You mean too much. I don't care who you are. You mean too much. Take it from a bitch who got missed by the fucking cars.
Came to my door.
Rather, they slammed the first one missed me, and then everyone else slammed their brakes on.
3:30 in the morning. He was looking for somebody, said he came to that house. 3 times the police called me to see, to check whether this other person lived at my house that this guy was looking for. 3:30 in the morning. I'm a grandmother, I'm 82 years old, and I'm living by myself. And they're going to check with me 3 times. What about that other guy? What did they do? Why is somebody out at 3:30 in the morning claiming they dropped the person off who stole their billfold, was making a sandwich for them, was going to give them some money? What's wrong with this picture?
There's a lot of stuff, but...
Yeah. Okay.
I just saw you crying. I just want to make sure. I don't know if anyone else already talked to you or not. I just want
16 minutes. It has been 11 minutes since they shed their first tears. At least there is the second person here now to deal with attending to their emotional needs. The thought of someone crying and no one being there for them has been actually pissing me the fuck off this whole goddamn time.
to make sure everything.
If you see someone in pain, you don't have to go and help them. If you find it that you wish to, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's fine. I think that it's fine. Yes.
What's got you upset?
Well, part of it is I was standing talking about this, my own personal experience with something with one of the ladies putting signs, and she came up definitely senile looking a little bit, and then
what was that?
Senile a little bit.
Oh, okay.
And one of the girls got up on one of these plates and was up higher than her, and everything. And I remember it being like a little uncomfortable for me to see her going through that. But then I continued the conversation, and I guess she got tired of her being right in her space and touched her. And I think there was even a loving touch before that. So I didn't see any of it. But I'm mostly just upset because of my own deep experience that I'm trying to share.
Something sure. Okay. I just wanted to make sure you weren't somehow got hit by anything.
No.
All right.
Would you walk over with me?
Walk over where? Why? All right, well, you can't be around them right now, so...
Okay.
No, you can't go home,
No, you can't leave.
I can't go?
No, you're being detained right now. You're not free to leave.
Okay.
Do you have family? Do you live in Edmonds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an 82-year-old retired teacher. I live by myself.
Okay. And you just came out for a walk and saw...
Yeah, and I've taught about racism and kids and this whole thing, and this is the thing that upsets me the most is the racism that's going on. Okay. And I am definitely not a racist, but I definitely want...
Again, I'm here to say a very important thing that oftentimes gets missed. I'm arranging these in this direction now. There is the consideration that you don't have to be a racist person to levy racialism in your analyses and never escape its bounds. And when you keep yourself bogged down in racialism, you do allow racism to flourish through allowing that communication of those kinds of beliefs to frame everything you articulate and analyze, which never lets you escape that. Also, the end of it really gets me. A stated explanation that racism is sexually motivated by the fear that another race would take its women is the most... Do I really, really, really have the time to track down the original document and find more data? Yes, I will do it later. I'm not paying them though, so I'll find it somewhere. It's got to be published elsewhere. I don't care. Let's see. Like, it does deserve a different analysis because it is genuinely a different thing. There's...
want to flag people with brown skin.
And again, this person is invoking racialism in their analyses, not racism that we can identify from what we've seen yet. Is that, gonna absolve them of it all? No, they could have done it. I just didn't see it yet from this video. I don't know.
Other color skins that
a reasonable person, only go off of bullshit I can see.
That's kind of racist if you're targeting certain individuals.
I'm not targeting you.
You are. You just said I'm finding people with brown skin. Hello?
One person, and I'm saying to her, and I have black friends who we sit and talk about this.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, she just admitted she's trying to find brown people and to tell them not to vote for Trump, basically.
They're so naive, and it just breaks my heart how naive they are.
Well, that is something that everyone has their opinion.
It's not. It's
you can't force people to do something. You know, we fought the British for what reason?
What?
Against that. We fought the British for what reason? So people can have a right to vote. So people can have a right.
Go back.
You're really oversimplifying this. You fought them so you couldn't have taxation without representation, to be specific. Like, there's this officer has been generalizing the world away. I see that they're trying to fucking help. Okay, I'm just pointing out. They made the generalization that no one talks about, and I quote, money, politics, race, or religion with anyone. And I think that is both inaccurate, does not represent my experiences of trying to appropriately have these dialogues over the dinner table with lawyers and judges and doctors and nurses. Because we talk about health, we talk about human bodies, we talk about policy, we talk about legislation. It's that we learned to do that responsibly since I was a child. And this officer has been deprived of that, and I made the assessment that it seems as though people who would try to curate that action explicitly from them may indeed be the kind of people trying to seek control over this officer when they were a youth. And they may never know otherwise than don't talk about those things. But I find that to be underserving for the officer. I can speak themselves, right? Like, I'm not mad at them for saying it. Duh. I do think that it's underserving the people they tell it to. Yes, you don't have to. Underserving someone doesn't make me mad, by the way. It makes me a lot of things, aware that you might be underserved yourself. But that's it. That's all. That's all. Still love you all dearly. Still love you all immensely. Still think you all are outstanding and lovely. Still think all of you are irreplaceable and beyond quantifiable value. I still think you all are the most astonishing parts of my world. I will also call bullshit bullshit when I see it. And I can love you with my whole fucking heart, but I'll still call bullshit where I see it. And if you think that makes me care less, what the fuck controlling bullshit are you trying to pull on me where I can't be critical and love at the same time? What the fuck are you? Get the fuck out. Go away. No one likes that.
Oh, I know about the
You may know.
We're going to have a difference of opinion here, so let's just reel her back in.
Read your history. Okay? I was a history major.
Okay.
So, me too. Doesn't everyone like history? What? I mean, who doesn't like history? My favorite little bit of history, by the way, in case you were curious, like I have, let me see, hold on. Okay, one of my favorite things is, not like my favorite thing, but like, I love the dirty, brutal consistency of the spice trade. It's a fun thing to talk about for me.
You gotta read, and you read the history from that time, what happened. And here's what happened. 1/3 of the people supported the British. 1/3 of the people said, hey, we need to collaborate, we need to negotiate. And 1/3, which is our side, the side that made our country, fought against them. 1/3.
Hey,
and what the rich people did is they hired the farmers and the poor people to do all the fighting and be.
I mean, can understand.
And that's what we're doing again.
Okay. Yep. We're gonna go walk over towards her car, okay?
Run it back one more time for me.
Hey man,
I need to depack this rapid fire analysis.
We need to negotiate. And 1/3, which is our side, the side that made our country, fought against them. 1/3.
Hey man,
and what the rich people did is they hired the farmers and the poor people to do all the fighting and be.
I can understand.
And that's what we're doing again.
Yep.
Okay, hi. This is coming from the bitch that just gave you rapid fire analysis. Maybe it's not that helpful to give people rapid fire dissertations like that when they're busy doing their job and their job involves corralling your ass. No disrespect, but like for fucking real, bro. What? What?
We're gonna go walk over towards her car, okay?
Yeah.
Respectfully, I do appreciate the attempt at analyzing the world around you. I really do. Always a fan of it. Love it, here for it. But that said, it doesn't seem like the time or place, and everything has a time and place. This seems to be not the time nor place. You know?
I think she's upset. 3 policemen. Boy.
Yeah, bro, you assaulted a person, and then you were like, yeah, with my chest out, I fucking mollywops that bitch in the goddamn mouth because they don't get along with me, is what you said. No shit, there's 3 awesome. Bitch, you hit somebody. You hit 2 people. You hit 2 people, bro. People have done less. And like, I'm not even fucking kidding, bro. Like people dead ass do less. Like Oscar Grant, for instance. Like, bro, people do less. Right? Like this person responding to reports of a fight on a crowded Bay Area rapid transit train returning from SF. BART police detained Grant and several other passengers. The end result is I watched this man be pinned to the ground and then killed. Yeah, like I was on the train that saw this. So there you go. It broke my fucking heart, by the way. I still don't know how to process like a lot of shit that I saw from when I was a kid. Like there was a lot of shit that I saw in my childhood that I still don't know how to begin to process.
It's pretty bad when you have an 82-year-old grandmother that takes 3 policemen.
Motherfucker is just pissed off and talking shit now. Okay, you know what? I'll take it. You know why? Because when you're pissed off and talking shit, you're in a place where you feel like life is worth fighting for and you're not about to go back up into traffic. I'm generalizing and incorrect, by the way. That's not true. That's like when my dad was fucking ignorant and thought, oh, no, you could still be at risk. You feel unheard and you're rallying right now. So you're pushing out the most energy you have. Honestly, you're likely at the largest fucking risk of doing some fucking erratic shit right now. So honestly, I'm not trying to be dismissive and I'm not aware. But snarky snide me for 2 goddamn seconds is like, bro is just pissed the fuck off though. Takes 3 policemen. Officers, bitch. It takes 3 officers. Bitch. Anyways, it does take 3 officers to deal with you because you just assaulted a motherfucker, bro. Like, you just dead ass for like, bro, you did political violence. I'm sorry, bro. That's not fine. Like, that's nasty. That's bad behavior in my book. It's like, I'm just saying, Charles Sumner, and Preston Brooks? Sumner, I got it right. That does mean summer in German, by the way. This word is summer, if I'm correct, in Germanic. I believe it's my least practiced subset of lingua. I, as an English mother tongue person, honestly, Germanic languages are the hardest for me, inclusive of English. English, difficult for me. Germanic languages, hard. Franco languages, a little bit, Romance languages, effectively, a little more easy. French, mid. Mandarin, on the other hand. Mandarin is my favorite to deal with, like, picking up, because it's not a Germanic language, it sits better, and as long as I keep it in practice, we're good. Nelma. You reply? Well, how or boo how, if you're good or not good, respectively. Boo is a negator, right? Okay, cool. It's like ne, effectively. Anywho's. We'll live. Don't do political violence. Don't do political violence. Don't do political violence. Don't do violence. I don't care what the violence is, just don't do it. Like, I don't care if it's like, I don't care if it's you, like, if you, bitch, unless the other person is in a sanctioned motherfucking fight with you, and your name is Mike motherfucking Tyson, shut the fuck up with your goddamn violence. No one wants you. Not this person. No one wants the violence they bring, but yeah, the person they can grow. That you're gonna be like, oh, but they're 80. Yeah, they can grow. What are you, an ageist person? I just got done bitching about prejudice, bitch. What are you about to do? Invoke prejudice? Talk about perceived aptitudes, being a fucking prejudiced person, judging what you perceive their aptitude to be, based upon your fickle and fragile frame of reference and not their experiential shit? That seems like trash behavior, honestly. By the fucking way.
Well, are you gonna jail me or what?
We're gonna go over to my car and talk about it. Not here in the middle of the intersection.
When she told you guys like it's no big deal, was she just like, yeah, I hit her?
She basically said, yeah, I don't care.
Wow.
And
did she get arrested for that? That's assault.
We're taking care of that.
I've had one traffic ticket in my life and one car accident.
I am gonna go to bed earlier than I thought. I'm gonna raid us out soon. I'm sorry, I'll be on tomorrow for more gaming and tabletop sim. I'll be playing Dark Souls 3 in bed before I get off. By the way, if you're on Discord, say hello. I feel hit with a wave of fatigue and I've yet to get up and eat. And I'll be doing it soon. I'm just gonna, when I get up, I'm also gonna do that. Because to be fair, my tummy's a little bit tight right now. And I deserve better.
I think today is just a bad day. We'll go this side.
Not really. Not really.
Well,
I'll get us sorted out. I'll make sure the ad's delayed and everything. We got this.
Okay.
We're in here for 5 minutes more. Alright, sick.
You are under arrest.
I mean, technically, if you're on YouTube and you want to raid with us, you can come to Twitch for a minute and say hi. I also gave you the link we're going to. You can soft raid if you want to just chill and not. Just by the way, you don't even have to log in for a soft raid if you're just curious. You can just come. If you're not, you can just go. It's whatever. I'm just saying. Just saying. Just saying.
Face the car.
I'm going to share a story. My son lives in Edmonds. I'm going to share a story.
I'm going to share. It's not two, right? It's captioned as two. The person is saying, and I quote, I'm going to share a story.
My son lives in Edmonds.
My son lives in Edmonds. And he was beat up by a girl. His nose was broken. His eyes was broken. He was bleeding. It took us 10 travels
you're
to the hospital.
Okay.
Okay.
No, just keep looking. Hey, ma'am. Just keep looking at the car, okay?
And this side has my keys.
Okay.
Wow, this is exciting. Wow, this is exciting. My keys.
Okay.
Wow, this is exciting.
Alright, one sec. Well, to the lab we go. Hold on. I'm not Pause Champ McSilly Goose. That's you. Where's the cut button? Copy link. I'll cut it myself then, bitch. Fuck with me. See what happens.
On my phone.
Timestamp for you in case you need it.
You're taking all my stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it'll go with you.
Okay.
You just gotta empty out your pocket.
Can't believe it. Anyway, it's been 3 years since that happened, and they still haven't run it through the criminal system. There will be a case on the 19th of this month, finally. And this girl, she beat him to a pulp. She burned, third-degree burns all over his body.
Oh, per usual, I'll have the VOD up shortly after the stream's over with timestamps in it. If you're watching the VOD, say hi with a comment. Leave a timestamp too. We can talk through timestamp talk. Sounds fun. To y'all here, by the way, thank you for tolerating my bitch ass. I appreciate you. You're awesome. You're outstanding. No, your tolerance is honestly just worthy of a standing fucking applause. I couldn't stand myself, so. Wild. Appreciate.
And you guys, I mean, the criminal system, yeah. So I'm just making myself worse by talking this, aren't I?
Do you understand? No matter how upset and how much you don't agree with people's political beliefs, you still can't put your hands on somebody. It doesn't matter. I know it's frustrating, but you just can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how can you put your hands on me?
Because I'm searching you. I have a legal right to do that. Nobody has a legal right to just push somebody or punch somebody.
Again, I want to I want to just be consistent with saying I don't believe violence of any sort is okay. I don't think escalation is valid. I think that it's appropriate to de-escalate, not to escalate. That's all. That's my thing. That's my whinge. That's me. That's my gripe. That's how I feel.
You cannot shoot people either.
Well, what do you think's happening in the schools?
I know, and that's illegal as well.
Yeah, it's illegal, but it hasn't stopped, and our kids are all...
Okay, but you know what is illegal that is stopping? You assaulting people today, bro. Thanks.
You know, the biggest cause of kids is guns these days. Okay, I want to make sure you get that all picked up.
I will pick it up.
We will.
But I want to see that you...
Ma'am, you need to sit down, or you're going to make things a lot worse for yourself.
Okay.
Right, has anyone told this person that they're under arrest yet? Or are they just being detained? I'm not sure. Like, do they need to be told to shut the fuck up before they hear from their lawyer? Because they're now, like, in the back of a car, which has a camera and a microphone in it. And they are just popping the fuck off.
Charged for resisting
It
arrest.
is wild, brother. God damn,
this really
bro.
hurts my hands.
Yeah, they're not supposed to.
Can I charge you for injuring me if it hurts that bad?
I lock them so they won't tighten up on you.
Well, they're very, very tight. In fact,
I can fit my fingers
Did
through
they
them,
declare this?
so-
Is there a transcript?
yeah,
Okay,
but
cool.
I'm in pain. I am in pain.
And she cares.
I am in pain.
I'll put them in the front.
On my wrist.
6 copies of it. This is 1.
I'm not.
Hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. I got to get well. You'll be arrested and all kinds of people will treat you and okay, that's number 6. 7. Woman is arrested at 27 minutes. 21 minutes, arrested for assaulting. Did I miss that? Turn around, face the car. You're under arrest for assault. Okay, cool. I was just checking.
Well,
We're not at the Miranda warning yet. That's a minute from now. This person keeps popping off for another minute before they get Mirandized. Holy shit, brother.
Turn around. I'm going to take them
God
off.
damn,
We're gonna
bro.
put them in the front, okay?
Why?
I don't normally do this.
Why are you like this, honey?
well, I'm
Don't
not
do
gonna
this.
attack you. You don't know that, but I'm not going to. Hey, you can beat me to a pulp in 30 seconds.
I don't like the finality in this person's words when they start talking about, like, harm to people. You know? That's honestly unsettling. And I don't think it's a failing of them. I just want to say that it's frightening when they think so terminally of the world, and I am concerned they're not getting the support that I think they well and truly need.
You realize that?
Anyways,
Hold on, I got to get down.
sorry that my tummy hurts and I gotta run off
You'll
early.
be arresting all kinds of people if Trump gets in. We'll have fun.
That's really sad, actually, that people can't just
Be
go
kind.
along.
Well, when you have your leadership promoting that, what do you expect? Okay,
Is that better?
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, let me double lock them so they don't tighten up on
Boy,
you.
I get 3 policemen. I'm honored.
Yeah.
Boy, you guys do it royally. Okay.
That's how we roll in Edmonds. So now I'm going to read you your
I
rights.
just want my tummy to stop hurting, so I'm gonna take care of myself.
You have
And
the
like,
right
eat and shit.
to remain silent. Anything
With the
you say
time to
can
be
be used
nauseous
against you in a
after.
court of law.
I'm sorry.
You have the right
When
at
in-
this time to talk to a lawyer and have him present with you while
Okay, they have been popping off this whole time. You're stuck coming with me. I'm wearing a skirt today. Holy shit. Let's focus on this for a minute. No, let's talk about this together as a crew. I got dressed like I was going outside today, bitch. Like, I put clothes on and shit, motherfucker. Do you see this shit? I put clothes on, bitch. Like, check I put fucking clothes on, motherfucker. The fuck? The fuck? Look at this. Look at this fancy ass bitch getting dressed like they had something to fucking deal with. I went to the doctor yesterday. Today I just got dressed for the habit of like just getting dressed. Anyways, sorry. I'm gonna dead ass. I'll be eating my pickled peas. You're gonna go see Shark. Shark is disambiguating stuff. And that could be helpful for me and my further analyses of the world. Anywho's. Hearts to you. I need to give YouTube the link for where we're going before we dip, or else I suck. Kim's? I don't know. Hold on. 1 sec. I'm giving you a thing, Vess. I'm giving you something. Hold on. Could you do me a giant favor? Could you? Could you give Shark a little vegcom emoji, please? I hate to ask for anything extra, but would you mind giving Shark a little bit of emote spam, Vess? You're so down to spam emotes with me. Let's go spam Shark with fucking me. That sounds very silly. Okay, you're dipping. Bye. Go. I'll be there in a sec. YouTube, get the fuck out of here. I love you too. Genuinely. Thank you. Be well. Bye. Appreciate you. Be safe. Be kind to yourselves. Don't let shit get in your way.